in San Sebastian, Tarlac City. How are you, learners? Especially to our grade 8 students. Stay tuned and don't forget to like and share our Facebook page, RTV Tarlac Channel 26 and DZTC Radio Filipino Tarlac. Or if you have questions or clarification, don't hesitate to approach me in my Facebook account, Eileen Rose Cayago, or call and text me in 0995-8259926. And we will answer all your questions to better understand our broadcast. But before that, I just want to make some important reminders. Make sure that you're in a quiet, relaxed, and comfortable place while listening and learning with all our broadcasts. And make sure that you have a copy of your module, compendium of notes, learner's activity sheet, pen and paper to easily understand our lesson. But before that, let us review what we have learned in our previous lesson. Do you still remember our previous lesson? Very good. So our previous lesson is all about history and basic movements of chess pieces. So now, get your pen and paper and answer the given activity. Or, if you are watching on FB Live, comment down your answer for this activity. So are you ready? Let's start. Question number 1. What is the most powerful chess piece and it moves in any straight direction, forward, backward, sideward, or diagonal? Is it A, the king,
Is it in the tea?
B, the
The
queen,
queen?
or C, the bishop? And the
And the
answer
answer is
is very
very
good.
good.
It's
It's
letter
letter
B,
B,
the
the
queen.
queen.
Second question. What is the most important chess piece? However, it is also considered one of the weakest. Is it A, the king, B, the queen, or C, the bishop? And the correct answer is letter A, the king. And lastly, chess piece that moves by going two square in one direction and then one more just like an L shape. Is it A, the bishop, B, the knight, or C, the pawn? Exactly. The correct answer is letter B, knight. If you got all the correct answer, good job. I'm glad that you still remember our previous lesson. I know that everyone is eager to learn and excited in this episode. Alright, students, are you familiar with this game? If not, just keep on listening and watching in this episode so you can learn more about the game of domino. And then forget and don't forget this equipment in playing domino. We have domino set, pen and paper to easily understand our lesson. So history of domino. But after today's lesson, you are expected to understand the background of the game domino, follow the rules in playing domino, and create a journal of your family's documentation in playing domino. Domino is a game played with rectangular domino tiles. A domino gaming pieces make up a domino set, sometimes called a deck or pack. A domino set may consist of different number of tiles and dots. The traditional Singaporean domino set consists of 28 dominoes. Dominoes are also called bones, men, ticket, or spinners. Each domino is a rectangular tile with a line dividing its space into two square ends. Each end is marked with the number spots also called pips or is blank. The word pip commonly means a spot or a speck, and perhaps that's why a domino spot are called pips. According to some Chinese accounts, a heroic soldier called Hung Ming invented them to help keep his soldier awake during night watches. Evidences show that tile games have been found in China as early as year 1120's Common Era. Some historians credit Kyung Tai Kung in 12th century before Common Era for creating them. Other historians stated that dominoes were invented by a statesman named Chu Ziyam in 1120 Common Era. So now students, domino set is a generic gaming device, similar to playing cards or dice. In that variety of games can be played with a set. Alright students, so here's the total for all common domino set. We have domino set, number of tiles, and number of dots. In double six set, we have 28 number of tiles to the total of 168 number of dots. In double nine set, we have 55 number of tiles and 495 number of dots. In double 12 set, we have 91 number of tiles and 1092 number of dots. And lastly, we have double 15 set to the total of 136 number of tiles and 2040 number of dots. There is a single tile for each combination of the faces of a pair of dice. The blank suit it is thrown with a single die for the total of 28 tiles in a standard double set. Other set, the larger number of tiles were invented later, with the double 9 and the double 12 set being the most common extension. Alright students, so now you might have noticed that there was no bin exact data on this origin of domino. However, one is clear enough. It has existed so long ago that documentation of which is scarce. Although domino tiles is clearly of Chinese inheritance. Alright students, before we go on with the rules and regulation to how to play the domino, let me ask you some question about the background or history of domino. But before that, for those who are tuned in, you are listening to Aral TarlakHenyo here on RTV Tarlac Channel 26 over DZTC Radio Filipino Tarlac. This is your teacher broadcaster in Physical Education 8, Ma'am Eileen, and our lesson is all about the background and the rules and regulation in domino. And for you to be updated, please like and share our Facebook page, RTV Tarlac Channel 26. Again, before we go on with the rules and regulation in domino, let me ask you some question on the background or history of domino. So get your pen and paper and answer the given activity. Number 1. It is also known as the domino tiles, stones, men, tickets, or spinners. Is it A, bar, B, bones, or C, dominoes? And the answer is letter B, bones. Very good. Next question. What is a game played with rectangular domino tiles and gaming pieces make up a domino set, sometimes called a deck or pack? Is it A, dominoes, B, Scrabble, or C, chess? Correct. The answer is letter A, dominoes. And lastly, where was the domino game invented? Is it A, in Japan, B, Korea, or C, China? Exactly. The correct answer is letter C, China. If you got all the correct answers, good job. You definitely listen to our topic. So since we know about the history of domino, let's more about this game by knowing the rules and regulation of domino. The learning the rules and regulation in domino, we need this equipment. Notepad for scorekeeping and a set of domino. So are you ready? Game on! How to play domino. The first rule that I'm going to teach is shuffling the dominoes. Before you start a game, the dominoes must be shuffled to make a boneyard. You need to shuffle the tiles all face down, moving them in random motion. So here's a video about shuffling the dominoes. Make sure that no one knows the location of any given tile. If two people are playing, each person gets 7 tiles. If 3 or 4 people are playing, each takes 5 dominoes. Again, make sure that no one knows the location of any given tile. If two people are playing, each person gets 7 tiles. If there 3 or 4 people are playing, each takes 5 dominoes. So next, decide who will make the first move. You can do it in a two ways. Each of the players choose a domino at random, with first move going to the player holding the heavier domino. These dominoes are returned to the boneyard. Or the players draw their allotted number of tiles, which varies according to the game being played. The holder the heaviest domino goes first. So here's a video clip about decide who will make the first move. To decide which player starts, each player reveals their highest double, a piece that has the same number of dots on the both ends. However, has the highest double goes first. If none of the players drew a double, then however has the heaviest tile, the domino is most that on it goes first. Alright, students. So let's move to the next, which is drawing tile. Once you begin a drawing tile, they are typically placed on edge so that you and your opponent can see your own tiles, but none can see the tiles of other players. Every player how many tiles remain in the other player's hand at all times during the game. So here's the drawing tiles. Set your 7 dominoes up in the front of you so you can learn or should, but try to keep them hidden from other players. Next, we have placing the first tile. After you and your opponent have drawn dominoes, the first player places the first tile, usually a double six, on the table. If no one holds the double six, then the double five is played, and so on. So here's the video presentation about placing the first tile. You can only put domino tiles in open ends. No other tile is connected to. Right, so placing subsequent tile. Right, so here's the video presentation about placing subsequent tile. A double tile is usually placed crossways in the layout, straddling the end of the tile that it connected to. All 4 sides of a double are open, allowing dominoes to be connected in all 4 directions. Next, we have drawing a tile from the boneyard. As you take turns placing tiles with your opponents, if someone cannot make a move, you can do either two things. In black games, or if there are no tiles left in the boneyard, you must pass if you cannot make a move. In a draw game, you can draw a tile from the boneyard. Depending on the game, you can then either play it, if it is fits, and if the rules allow. Pass if you cannot play the drawn tile, or continue drawing until you can make a move to the boneyard is empty. So here's a video clip about drawing a tile. Currently, most rules allow the boneyard to be emptied completely. However, some rules do not allow the last two tiles in the boneyard to be removed. And at the end of the game, the winner received the value of tiles in the boneyard. And lastly, we have ending a game. The game ends when you have played all your tiles, or when the game is black. When you play your last tile, traditional requires to say domino. When it happens, the other players have been domino. A game is black when no player is able to add other tiles. So here's a video about ending a game. The player who reaches the target score 100, 150, or 200, or whatever is agreed on among the players, or the players who amasses the point in a given number of rounds win the game. Alright, students, so we're done in the game and how to play a domino. For those who are tuned in, again, you are listening to Aral TarlakHenyo here on RTV Tarlac Channel 26. Alright, students, so here's some useful tips in playing domino. So we have set down doubles early and set down your heavier tiles early. Do not get stuck with a doubles. Lay them down early in the game or whenever the opportunity. Second, we have hold on the variety of suits and note your opponent's weak suits. Try to keep them different suits as you can in your hand as long as you can. This will give you a range of options when it comes to the tile you can set down. And to prevent being unable to make a play, all the having tile to pass your play. Lastly, we have control and manipulate the board count. Push the board count up when you set down scoring tiles. Alright, students, just to make sure that you understand our lesson, so let me ask you some quick questions. Kindly prepare your pen and paper and answer the given activity. For the question number 1, what is the first rule in playing domino? Is it A, playing subsequent tile, B, shuffling the domino, or C, drawing tiles? Number 2, how many points did the target on this game? Is it A, 100 to 200 points, B, 500 points, or C, 300 points? And lastly, how many tiles there's in a standard domino set? Is it A, 55 tiles, B, 91 tiles, or C, 28 tiles? So let's check. The answer number 1, very good. So we have shuffling the dominoes. Number 2, very good. So we have 100 to 200 points. Number 3, exactly. The correct answer is letter C, 28 tiles. If you got all the correct answers, good job. And I think you are ready to take this to another level. Alright, students. So we have activity number 1. Kindly prepare your learner's activity sheet for this activity. So we have assessment of performance or mini tournament. So after you have mastered playing domino with your family, you are now ready to compete in a mini tournament. This time, your performance will be ranked based on the gathered score during the game. So a game will compose of 4 players. Next activity, we have Meet My Deep Appreciation. On your portfolio, place photographs that you have taken while playing with your family and friends. Put a short description from each picture. Write a short essay on the benefits that you derive from playing the game. So here's the criteria for assessment. And also, please submit your activities to your respective MAPE teachers. Alright, students. Again, playing dominoes provide fun and opportunity for interaction among family members. At the same time, the game provides learning opportunity to stimulate the critical thinking and decision making. And it also develops social and build characters. Alright, students. So this will be our last episode in Physical Education 8 in this quarter. For you to be updated with all our broadcasts, please like and share our Facebook page, RTV Tarlac Channel 26. I hope that you learned a lot today. Again, I'm your teacher broadcaster in Physical Education 8, Ma'am Eileen Rose P. Cayago from Tarlac National High School. Take care and God bless. Until next time!
Alam niyo ba na ang Pilipinas ay mayroong 7,641 islands? Mula sa bilang na 7,107 islands, nadagdagan ito ng 534 na isla noong 2017. Tanging 2,000 lamang sa mga islang ito ang natitirhan. Alam niyo na! Yan ang mga isla sa Pilipinas.
Buhay mga bata, sa mga batang nasa ika-5 baitan. Hello!
Magandang araw din sa inyo, mahal naming magulang. Ito ang
Aral TarlakHenyo ng SDO Tarlac Province dito sa RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
At DZTC, Radio Pilipino, Tarlac.
Happy learning, grade 4. Welcome to
Aral TarlakHenyo here on RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
Simulcast over DZTZ 828, Radio Filipino Tarlac.
Ano nga ba ang dahilan sa pag-usbong ng Rebolusyong Amerikano? Ano nga ba ang kaugnayan ng Rebolusyong Pangkaisipan sa Rebolusyong Amerikano? Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Ako muli ang inyong guro sa Araling Panlipunan, Ginoong Charlie M. Peralta, sumasahing papawid mula sa Barangay San Pascual, Tarlac City sa tulong ng Aral TarlakHenyo at TZTZ Tarlac. Kamusta kayo mga gilid-gilo kong mga tagapakinig at mga mag-aaral? Mabuti naman kung kayo ay nasa mabuting kalagayan. Ngayon ay umpisahan na natin ang ating ikatlong episode. Pero bago tayo magsimula, atin munang balikan ang ating napag-aralang paksa noong nakaraan. Natatandaan niyo pa ba ang ating paksa na pinag-aralan? Kung gayon ay subukin natin ang inyong memorya. Ngayon ay balikan natin ang sinagutan nating scroll down the facts, na kung saan inisa-isa natin ang mga pamana ng iba't ibang mga personalidad o mga filosof sa iba't ibang larangan. Unahin natin sa ekonomiya. Sa ekonomiya, kung inyo pang natatandaan, ay ating napag-aralan ang pag-usbong ng laissez-faire, na kung saan ito ay isang kaisipan na magkakaroon ng isang malayang pamamalakad ng ekonomiya na walang kontrol ang pamahalaan. Sa larangan naman ng politika, masasabi natin na ang mga ideya ng mga philosophers katulad nina Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, Baron de Montesquieu, Voltaire, at Jean-Jacques Rousseau ay nagamit sa politika. Kamusta naman sa ibang larangan? Tingnan natin sa susunod na slide. Relihiyon. Kung inyo natatandaan, si Diderot ay nagtatag o gumawa ng encyclopedia. At isa sa mga paksang kanyang binigyang pansin ay ang makabagong kaisipan tungkol sa relihiyon o paniniwalang espiritual. Sa kalayaan naman, tama, sa kalayaan ay nakita natin o napansin natin na ang mga kababaihan sa panahon na ito ay nagkaroon ng boses sa ating pamahalaan o sa pamahalaan sa panahon ito, na kung saan nagkaroon ng kalayaan ang mga kababaihan laban sa mga diskriminasyon. Huwag ninyong kakalimutan ang mga leksyon na yan. Tayo ngayon ay tumungo sa ating susunod na talakayan. Ito ay ang talasalitaan. Ibigay, so dito tayo ay nakakaroon ng maikling gawain. Okay? So ako ay nakapaghanda ng 10 mga salita. At ako ay nagbigay ng mga titik. Ang gagawin natin sa talas salita ay aalamin ninyo ang nawawalang mga titik upang mabuo ang salita na hinahanap ng bawat pahayag. Handa na ba kayo? Unahin na natin sa unang salita. Ano kaya ito? Ito ay maparaan o isang organisadong paglaban ng mga mamamayan sa pamahalaan na naghahangad ng pagbabagong pang-politikal at pang-ekonomiya. Pangalawang salita. Ito ay tumutukoy sa halagang ipinapataw sa bawat produkto o serbisyong tinatangkilik ng mga mamamayan ng bansa na siyang nagsisilbing pondo ng pamahalaan sa pagpapatupad ng programa nito. Pangatlong salita. Ito ay tumutukoy sa lugar o bansang nasasakupan kung saan ang kapangyarihan ay nasa kamay ng mga bansang mananakaw. Pang-apat na bansa o salita, ito ay tumutukoy sa lugar o bansang nasakop na kung saan ang dominasyon sa aspetong pang-politikal, pangkabuhayan, at kultural na pamumuhay ay nasa kamay ng mga bansang mananakop. Panglimang salita, ito ay isang napakahalagang karapatan ng bawat tao na nagbibigay sa mga ito ng pagkakataon sa pagpapasya at pagsasagawa ng mga bagay sa ikaunlad ng sarili at ng pamayanang kinabibilangan. Pang-anim, ito ay isang uri ng pamahalaan kung saan ang kapangyarihang politikal ay pinamumunuan ng kataas-taasang ministro o ang hari o reyna na nagsisilbi ding sagisag ng pambansang pagkakaisa at kapangyarihan ng Estado. Pangpito, isang karunungan o disiplina, filosofiya at paniniwala. Pangwalo, ito ay isang iniisip na kilos o pamamaraan na pinapatupad sa isang tiyak na gawain. At ang pangsyam, ito ay pangangailangan ng isang tao na magdesisyon ng may kalayaan. Kaakibat ng kakayahan ito ay ang tungkulin o gampanin. At ang panghuling salita, ito ay tumutukoy sa mga mamamayan ng 13 kolonya o colony ng British sa Amerika. Tingnan nga natin kung kayo ay nakasagot sa ating gawain. Narito ang mga tamang sagot. Una, revolusyon, buwis, kolonya, imperyo, kalayaan, parlamento, kaisipan, taktika, karapatan, at kolonista. Ilan ang mga nakuha niyong tamang sagot? Magaling kung gayon. Nakahanga-hanga. Ngayon naman ay tayo ay dumako na sa ating talakayan ngayong araw na patungkol sa Rebolusyong Amerikano. Ang Rebolusyong Amerikano ay ang himagsikan ng mga mamamayan ng Hilagang Amerika laban sa Imperyong British na noon ay nakapagtatag ng mga kolonya sa lugar. Tama ang inyong narinig, nakapagtatag ng mga colony ang British Empire sa malaking bahagi ng North America matapos nitong maagaw ang lugar mula sa kamay ng mga French makalipas ang 7 Years' War. Ngunit bakit kaya napili at kinailangan ng mga British o ng British Empire na magpatayo ng kolonya sa malaking bahagi ng Hilagang Amerika? Dahil ito ay naging malaking kabawasan sa kaban ng yaman nito epekto ng 7 Years' War. Kaya nangailangan ng imperyo ng lugar na pagmumulan ng malaking kita upang mabawi ang ekonomiya. Ngayon class, narito ang 13 colonies of Great Britain sa bahagi ng North America. Nandyan ang New Hampshire. Nandyan din ang Massachusetts. Sinundan ng Virginia, New York, Maryland, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Delaware, North at South Carolina, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, at Georgia. Tandaan, ang mga binanggit natin ay ang 13 colonies of British Empire sa bansang o sa lugar sa Amerika. Narito naman ang mga batas na ipinasa o ipinatupad ng mga British nang sila ay makasakop ng 13 colonies. Isa-isahin natin. Ang una ay ang tinatawag nating Navigation Act. Ano ba ang Navigation Act? Ito ay batas na nag-uutos sa mga kolonista o sa mga mamamayan ng mga kolonya na isakay ang kanilang mga produkto sa mga barkong British upang mabigyan ng proteksyon ang mga ito. Kapalit ng proteksyon na ito ay kailangang magbayad ng tax or buwis ng mga kolonista. Pangalawang batas. Ito ay ang Quartering Act. Ano nga ba ito? Batas na nagsasaad na kailangang buksan ng mga kolonista ang kanilang mga tahanan upang patuloyin at pakainin ang mga British soldiers. Ano mang gagastusin para sa mga mandirigmang British ay sasagutin ng mga kolonista. Ikatlo, ang Stamp Act. Ito ay batas na ipinasa ng English Parliament noong 1765. Ito ay nagsasaad na lahat ng mga dokumento katulad ng mga pahayagan o dyaryo at iba pang mga legal na dokumento ay kailangang patawan ng mga buwis. At ang pang-apat na batas ay ang Townshend Act. Ito ay batas na nagpataw ng buwis sa mga iniluluwas na kalakal mula sa Hilagang Amerika noong 1770. Marami ang mga kolonista ang nagprotesta laban sa Townshend Act. Subalit, sila ay pinaputukan ng mga British na nagresulta sa pagkamatay ng ilan at karamihan ay sugatan. Tinawag ang kaganapang ito bilang Boston Massacre dahil ito ay naganap sa Boston na isang lungsod sa Massachusetts. Noong 1773, isang pangkat naman ng mga kolonista ang nagsuot ng kasuotan ng katutubong Amerikano at pumasok sa isang pangangalakal o mangangalakal na bapor ng British East India Company at kanilang itinapon ang mga tone-toneladang tsaa sa pantalan ng Boston Harbor sa Massachusetts. Ang pangyayari ito ay tinatawag nating Boston Tea Party. Dahil dito ay nagpasa ang pamahalaang British ng kaparusahan sa mga naging bahagi ng insidenteng ito. Matapos ang pangyayari ito, dagli ang binuo ng mga kolonista ang tinatawag nilang nating Continental Congress. Noong ika-15 o noong ika-5 ng Setyembre taong 1774, dumalo ang 56 na kinatawan ng mga kolonya at sila ay nagpulong at nagkaisa na i-boycott lahat ng produkto ng mga British. Pagsapit naman ng taong 1775, nagpadala ang Great Britain ng tropa ng mga sundalo o ang tinatawag nilang British Red Coats upang kumpiskahin ang mga armas ng mga kolonista. Sila naman ay sinalubong ng mga tinatawag nating Minutemen o mga citizen militia ng 13 colony. Sa hindi maipaliwanag na kadahilanan, isang putok ang umalingaw-ngaw na nagresulta sa isang madugong labanan. Madaling natalo ang mga Minutemen o madaling natalo ng mga Minutemen ang mga British Red Coats. Ang pangyayari ito ay hudyat ng pagsisimula ng American Revolution. Ngayon ay tingnan natin ang itsura ng tinatawag nilang British Red Coats at mga Minutemen. Narito ang American Revolution. Noong Abril 1775 naman, nagsimulang lumusob ang mandirigmang British. Subalit ito ay namataan ni Paul Revere at ito'y agad niyang naipamalita sa buong bayan. Dahilan kaya nakapaghanda ang mga kolonista. Sila ay nakapagtatag ng Continental Army. Ito ay sa ilalim ni George Washington. At noong taong 1776 o July 4, 1776, ay idineklara ng mga kolonista ng 13 colonies na hindi na sila bahagi ng British Empire na pinagtibay naman ng nilagdaang Declaration of Independence. Ang paglalagda sa deklarasyong ito ay naging sagisag ng pagiging bansang nagsasarili ng mga kolonya na kalaunan naman ay nakilala sila bilang United States of America. Ngayon naman ay kilalanin natin si Thomas Jefferson. Si Thomas Jefferson ang pangunahing sumulat ng Declaration of Independence ng bansang Amerika. Ang naging batayan ng deklarasyong ito ay ang kasulatan ni John Locke na isang filosof. Layunin ng deklarasyong ito ang mabigyan o maibigay ang tatlong pinakamahalagang karapatan ng mga Amerikano. Isa na rito ay ang karapatang mabuhay, karapatang maging malaya, at karapatang maghanap ng kaligayahan. Ang magkabilang panig ay gumamit ng magkaibang estratehiya. Narito ang British Empire na gumamit ng line formation na inyong nakikita ngayon sa inyong screen. Samantalang nagsagawa naman na ang American Army ng pang-aambush at hit and run. Ito ay ang tinatawag nating magkaibang taktika ng dalawang magkabilang panig. Humingi rin ng tulong ang mga Amerikano sa mga bansang kakumpetensya ng Great Britain at sinuportahan sila ng bansang France, Spain, at ng Netherlands. Pagsapit ng October 19, 1781, ay minabuti ng sumuko ni General Charles Cornwallis. Siya isang British commander. At dito ay tuluyan na nakamit ng mga Amerikano ang kanilang kalayaan. Ang digmaan para sa kalayaan ng Amerika ay nagbago sa mukha ng kasaysayan ng mundo sa dahilang ito ang naging daan sa pagbuo ng isang bagong nasyon na umunlad at naging isang makapangyarihang bansa sa hinaharap. Ang mga ideyang iniwan ng digmaan para sa kalayaan ay naging simbolo at inspirasyon sa maraming mga kolonya na nais ding lumaya sa kanilang mga mananakop. Ngayon mga bata, natapos na natin ang ating talakayan. Oras na upang sukatin o tasahin natin ang inyong kaalamang natutunan patungkol sa American Revolution. Sundin lamang ang panuto na aking babasahin at isulat ang inyong mga sagot sa inyong sagotang papel o kaya naman ay i-type sa comment section ng ating live stream yung inyong mga sagot at atin itong iwawasto. Handa na ba kayo? Magaling ko ganon. So, umpisahan na natin sa inyong unang gawain, sanhi at bunga. Narito ang panuto, pakinggang mabuti at intindihin. Isulat sa unang kahon ang sanhi o dahilan ng pagsisimula ng Rebolusyong Amerikano. Sa ikalawang kahon naman ay isulat ang naging bunga o resulta ng Rebolusyong Amerikano. So, bibigyan ko lamang kayo ng 30 segundo upang gawin iyan. At nagsisimula na ngayon ang inyong oras. Ano kaya ang sanhi ng American Revolution? At magbigay na ang nakikita mo o nakita mong naging epekto or bunga ng Rebolusyong Amerikano. Meron pa kayong 30 segundo. Isip-isip, mga giligilo kong mga mag-aaral. Huling 15 segundo. Time's up! Ayan. Batid ko na kayo ay may mga naisulat na inyong mga ideya. Ngayon, iwasto natin kung tama ba ang inyong mga sagot. So, sanhi ng American Revolution, so maaaring isa o dalawa. So unahin natin ng isang dahilan. Nagkaroon ng Rebolusyong Amerikano sa pagnanais ng mga ito na makalaya mula sa kontrol ng British Empire. Pangalawa, nagsimula ang Rebolusyong Amerikano bilang daan sa paglaban sa mga batas ng pagbubugis. Ngayon, ano ang naging bunga ng rebolusyong ito? Nakamit ng mga ito ang kalayaan o kasarilan. Nakuha niyo bang lahat ng tamang sagot? Mabuti kung ganon. Alam ko ay hindi mo man yan naisulat or na-type, and yan ay pumasok sa inyong isipan. Napakatalino ng ating mga mag-aral. Ngayon naman ay dumako tayo sa activity number 2. Pagnilayan mo. Reflection time. Narito ang panuto. Sagutin ng buong husay ang mga tanong. So narito ang unang tanong, babasahin ko para sa inyo. Kung ating babalikan ang tungkol sa Declaration of Independence ng Amerika na sinulat ni Thomas Jefferson, this is the question. May kaugnayan ba ang bagay na ito sa rebolusyong pangkaisipan? Ulitin ko, kung ating babalikan ang tungkol sa Declaration of Independence ng Amerika na sinulat ni Thomas Jefferson, ang tanong ay, may kaugnayan ba ang bagay na ito sa rebolusyong pangkaisipan? Ano ang sa inyong palagay? At ang tamang sagot ay, opo, tama. May kaugnayan nga ang deklarasyon or Declaration of Independence sa ating nakaraang paksa. Dahil ang isinasaad ng Declaration of Independence ng Amerika ay nakabatay sa kaisipan o ideya ng isang philosophers na si John Locke. Bakit? Paano? Dahil ang ideya ni John Locke na ideya din ng Declaration of Independence ay parehong patungkol sa kahalagahan ng karapatan ng mga mamamayan na siyang isa sa dapat binibigyang halaga ng pamahalaan. Nakuha niyo ba? Very good. Ito ang pangalawang tanong. Kung ang Declaration of Independence ng Amerika ay nakabatay sa kaisipan ni John Locke, ano ang naging kahalagahan ng Rebolusyong Pangkaisipan sa pagtatagumpay ng Rebolusyong Amerikano? Uulitin ko lamang. Kung ang Declaration of Independence ng Amerika ay nakabatay sa kaisipan ni John Locke, ano ang naging kahalagahan ng Rebolusyong Pangkaisipan sa pagtatagumpay ng Rebolusyong Amerikano? Sige, isip-isip. Maaaring naisip ninyo ay, opo, tama. Nakatulong ang Rebolusyong Pangkaisipan sa tagumpay ng American Revolution sapagkat nagamit ng Amerika ang kaisipan o pilosopiyang pampulitika na napaunlad. Kailan? Saan? Mula sa panahon ng Enlightenment. Kaya nga masasabi natin, mga ginigilo ko mga taga-takinig at mga mag-aaral, na tunay nga na may kaugnayan ang mga kaisipan ng mga philosophers mula sa ating tinalakay doon sa first and second episode. Kaugnay sila sa American Revolution. Masasabi natin na ang mga kaisipan ng mga philosophers natin ay nagsilbing kaluluwa, okay, ng American Revolution at ng ating pangtatalakayin sa next episode na French Revolution. Naiintindihan niyo ba ang ating talakayan sa araw na ito? Okay. So, narito ngayon ang inyong takdang aralin. Isulat sa inyong aklat, sa inyong kwaderno ang inyong takdang aralin. So, ang inyong tanda-aralin ay ano-ano ang 13 colony of British Empire sa North America. I repeat, ano-ano ang 13 colonies ng British Empire sa North America. At hanggang dyan na lamang ang ating talakayan. Ako'y masayang-masaya at nasamahan niyo ako sa ating pag-aaral ng bagong ideya. Hanggang sa muli, keep safe! Bye-bye!
Masayang-masaya ako na nagkaroon ako ng chance, ng opportunity na makasama kayong lahat. Ma-share ko yung mga tips makakaganda at makakapagpasaya sa buhay-buhay natin, di ba mga Mars? Kaya Mars, tandaan ninyo, dito kayo ang bida.
Good afternoon, learners. Welcome to Aral TarlakHenyo here on RTV Tarlac, Channel 26, simulcast over DCTC Radio Filipino Tarlac. I am teacher Heidi A. Nugit, your teacher broadcaster for TLE Grade 8. How are you, my dear learners? I hope that you are all in good health and with a positive outlook in life despite of the pandemic. Now, are you ready to learn something new? Join me today and let us explore and learn new things filled with fun and learning by listening attentively and by sending questions or clarifications through my messenger account or via text message. My cell phone number is 0920-968-0480. At this point, I want you to prepare your compendium of notes in MELCs services, as well as your pen and notebook, so that you may take down notes as we go along with the lesson. Do you have it now? Today, we will focus our discussion on the area of home economics, MELCs services, specifically on the structure of nail and different nail shape. Making sure that you are in a comfortable place, far from noise, so that you can hear me loud and clear while listening to this program. Let us start by a short review on our previous topic. Last time, we discussed about the standard cleaning procedures of nail care tools and equipment. What is the difference between sterilization and sanitation? Sterilization is the process of destroying all living microorganisms. Meanwhile, sanitation is the process of destroying some, but not all microorganisms. Very good. All of your answers are correct. Sterilization and sanitation techniques are being practiced in the beauty salon, which involve the use of physical agents like heat radiation and chemical agents like antiseptics and vapor fumigants. How do disinfectant differs from antiseptic? Disinfectant is a substance used to control microorganisms on non-living surfaces such as tools, equipment, and other furniture and fixtures, while antiseptic is an agent that prevents the multiplication of microorganisms. This is milder than a disinfectant, which can be used directly on the skin. Who can enumerate the standard cleaning procedures of nail care tools equipment? First, read direction on how to use a disinfectant. Second, measure and mix disinfectant as directed. Third, saturate a cleaning cloth with disinfectant solution and wipe the entire surface area and equipment. Fourth, wipe the surface with paper towel to dry it. Fifth, dispose of sanitizing solution and use towels. And now, prepare yourself for a new lesson. Are you ready? Let us now begin. Our topic for today will focus on the nail structure and shapes and perform nail trimmings to varied shapes. It is necessary to know what are these and appreciate the importance of knowing the nail shapes according to the nail structure. Okay, so let's talk about basic information about nails. Nail is a plate of keratin that lies on the tip of the fingers and toes. The main purpose of the nail is to protect the fingers and toes. However, the fingernail also assists with certain physical activities in daily life. It is important for you to understand the structure of nails to become a professional manicurist or pedicurist. Let us discuss it one by one. Let us start with lunula. The visible part of matrix, whitish and half moon, crescent shape is due to the cells being pushed closely together. The blood capillaries cannot be seen through the lunula because of this. Some are hidden under eponychium. Then, the cuticle. The overlapping epidermis around the nail. It is dead, colorless tissue attached to nail plate from underside of skin that lies above natural nail plate. Loose and flexible, difficult to remove from nail plate. It also seals area against foreign material and microorganisms. It is the transparent skin, which is called the true cuticle, that is removed during the manicuring process. Next is the free edge, the part of the nail that can be filed and shaped. It is an extension of the nail plate that overlaps the hyponychium. Then, the matrix bed, where nail is formed, the only living reproducing part of the nail. This is situated directly below the cuticle, composed of matrix cells that produce nail plate. It also contains nerves, lymph, blood vessels to nourish nails. Extends from under nail fold at base of nail plate. If the matrix is damaged, the nail will grow deformed. Next in line, nail bed. the part of the nail where the nail plate rests on. Also, a continuation of the matrix. It is abundantly supplied with blood vessels and nerves, having numerous parallel ridges, which dovetail exactly with the ridges on the undersurface of the nail plate. Then, nail walls, the folds of the skin that overlap the sides of the nail. They hold your nail in place and protect the nail plate edges. Next, nail plate or body of nail is visible nail that rests on the nail bed of up to the free edge. This is made up from dead cells and minimum amount of moisture. The nail is semi-transparent, allowing the color of blood supply of the dermis to show. Last but not the least is nail fold. Is the tissue that encloses the nail matrix at the root of the nail. It attaches the nail to the rest of the skin through the protective cuticle. Now, dear learners, I want you to know the different shapes of nail. The shape of the nail conforms to that of fingertips of individual. Now take a look at your fingers. What is the shape of your nails? Is it oval, square, or rounded? So let's talk about shapes of nail. First is oval nail. This is common among people with long, perfect nail beds. It may be styled slightly rounded at the base and is slightly pointed at the fingertips. Most often, this type of nail has a natural look and looks very good in a short medium length. Second, round nail. Ideal for shorter nails. The nail is allowed to grow out straight at the sides approximately 1.5 millimeter, and then the tip is filed into a rounded shapes. This is a strong shape which is great for those who keep their nails short. Third, stiletto or pointed nail, filed away at the sides to a point at the tip. This shape is very weak as the sides of the nail, which provide the strength, are totally lost. Fourth, scoval, as above but followed by squaring off the tip. This gives the nail tip strength over the oval shape. Fifth, square nail. The square-shaped nails are the most famous among the nail shapes. This is created by allowing the nail to grow out straight and then filing the tip straight across at right angles with the rest of the nail plate. What shapes of nail do you prefer? It is oval, square, or rounded? Now, my dear learners, before you do that, are you ready to trim your nails? So before you do that, my dear learners, I will discuss to you first the steps in trimming of nails. Trimming of nails plays a very vital role. It is very easy task, but sometimes it causes little problems such as unwanted abrasions and ingrown nails when not done properly. Let's apply the following steps while cutting nails. Step 1. Prepare the types of instrument for this task. Nail cutter who has small or medium, slightly curved blades. which are suitable for trimming the fingernails. Nail cutters with straight blades are suitable for use. Step 2. Before using your nail cutter, make sure that it is clean. Wash your nail cutter to remove dust and germs, especially when you are sharing your nail cutter with someone else. Dry thoroughly after washing it. Step 3. Wash your hands, wipe dry with any towel or tissue paper to remove extra water. This process cleans your fingernails, and besides cleaning fingernails, it also helps in softening your nails and easier to cut them. Step 4. You must cut your nails in a place where you can clearly see what you are doing. Put a small container near you in which you can collect the nails. Step 5. Decide the shape of your nails. Decide which shape you actually want. After deciding, lift the nail cutter and start cutting your nails. Step 6. Start cutting your nails starting from your little finger. Step 7. Click on the nail cutter that can cut through the nail. You can make at least 2 or 3 cuts of a fingernail until everything is snug. Follow the curve of the nail to get a clean cut. Check skin flakes after it's cut and remove carefully. Step 8. Sit comfortably and crotch your knee side to easily reach up and see the nails clearly. Be sure not to set up deep razor to prevent scratches. Adjust the position of razor if you feel any discomfort. And step 9. After cutting your nails, use a nail file to smooth any rough and odd surface of newly trimmed nails. When you file, do it on tilt, from the corner of the nail to go down. Step 10. Apply some moisturizer on your hand to keep the cuticles moisturized and smooth. Now, my dear learners, kindly get a piece of paper and pen. Let us gauge the learning that you acquired on our topic this afternoon. This is a multiple choice. All you have to do is write the letter of the correct answer on your paper. I will read the questions twice. Are you ready? Let's begin. Number 1. What is the plate of keratin that lies on the tips of the fingers and toes? A. Bone, B. Nail, C. Lunula. Again, what is the plate of keratin that lies on the tips of the fingers and toes? A. Bone, B. Nail, C. Lunula. For number 2, what is the overlapping epidermis around the nail? A. Cuticle, B. Free edge, C. Nail bed. Again, what is the overlapping epidermis around the nail? A. Cuticle, B. Free edge, C. Nail bed. Number 3. What do you call to the only living reproducing part of the nail? A. Lunula, B. Matrix, C. Nail plate. What do you call to the only living reproducing part of the nail? A. Lunula. B. Matrix. C. Nail plate. For number 4, which of the following nail shape that is ideal for shorter nails? The nail is allowed to grow out straight at the sides. A. Oval nail. B. Scoval nail. C. Round nail. Again, which of the following nail shape that is ideal for shorter nails? The nail is allowed to grow out straight at the sides. A. Oval nail. B. Scoval nail. C. Round nail. Last but not the least, number 5. It is the part of the nail that can be filed and shaped. A. Cuticle. B. Free edge. C. Matrix. It is the part of the nail that can be filed and shaped. A. Cuticle. B. Free edge. C. Matrix. Yes, this is it. Are you ready to check your answer, class? Here are the answers. Okay, for number 1, it's letter B, nail. Number 2, A, cuticle. Number 3, B, matrix. Number 4, B, free edge. And number 5, C, round nail. Okay, count the number of the correct items. For those who got a perfect score, congratulations! You did a great job. For those who got 3 and 4, very good. And for those who got 2 and below, it's still okay. Don't lose hope. Okay, and keep trying. Please get your compendium of notes and review your answers. All right. You're still tuned in to your favorite school on the air. This is Project Shine, Aral TarlakHenyo, brought to you by the Department of Education, Division of Tarlac Province, in cooperation with DZTC 828 station. Don't forget to like and share our Facebook page, RTV Tarlac Channel 26. But before we end our session for this afternoon, so there are some questions here coming from some students. Okay, first question from Corazon High School, from Angela Bognot. Her question is, Ma'am, how many months before a new fingernail will grow? So the answer is, after a nail separates from the nail bed, for whatever reason, it will not reattach. A nail will have to grow back in its place. Nails grow back slowly. It takes about 6 months for a fingernail and up to 18 months for a toenail to grow back. Another question from Estipona National High School, from Eunice Arellano. Ma'am, what is hyponychium? So hyponychium is the slightly thickened skin that lies between the fingertip and the free edge, protect barrier that seals the free edge, preventing external moisture, bacteria, or fungi from getting under the nail. And another question from Tarlac National High School. Okay, describe the appearance of a normal, healthy nail. So healthy fingernails are smooth, without pits or grooves. They're uniform in color and consistency, and free edge of spots or discoloration. Sometimes fingernails develop harmless vertical ridges that run from the cuticle to the tip of the nail. All right, so that's all for today. I hope you learned something from this afternoon session. I would like to share with you a Bible verse from Jeremiah 29 verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. In CLE, we aim for knowledge, skills, and progress. I am Heidi A. Nugid, your teacher broadcaster for TLA Grade 8. Until next time, God bless you all.
Tuwing sasapit ang alas 5 ng hapon, parangalan natin ang ating mga kababayan na nasa unahan laban sa COVID-19. Lumabas tayo sa pintuan ng ating mga tahanan. Dumungaw tayo sa ating mga bintana. At atin silang bigyan ng masigabong palakpakan. Gumawa tayo ng ingay. Ipagbunyi ang ating frontliners. At ipahayag ang ating walang hanggang suporta sa kanilang kabayanihan.
Gusto ko lang pong i-take itong opportunity ito para magpasalamat sa lahat ng mga doktor at nurses, especially yung mga nag-alaga po sa akin, sa buong Asian Hospital at sa lahat po ng ating frontliners.
Umawit tayo at sumayaw at ipakita ang ating talento bilang pagsaludo sa mga bayaning nasa unahan. Talunin natin ang COVID-19. Sama-sama nating pagalingin ang ating inang bayan. Kaya natin to. We heal as one.
Buhay mga bata, sa mga batang nasa ikalimang bahitan. Hello!
Magandang araw din sa inyo, mahal naming magulang. Ito ang
Aral TarlakHenyo ng SDO Tarlac Province dito sa RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
At DZTC, Radio Pilipino, Tarlac.
Happy learning, grade 4. Welcome to
Aral TarlakHenyo here on RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
Simulcast over DZTC 828, Radio Filipino Tarlac.
Good afternoon, grade 9 learners. I hope you are doing great. Today is our second episode of Learning in English 9 for the third quarter, Module 3. Welcome to Aral TarlakHenyo here in RTV Tarlac, Channel 26, simulcast over DZT 828 AM Radio Filipino Tarlac. This is Joan T. Castillo from Tarlac National High School, your teacher broadcaster for today. Before we continue, I want you to get your learning activity sheet for Quarter 3, Module 3, your pen, and be in a comfortable place and listen attentively. Last episode, Teacher Debbie Terrible discussed with you one of the macro skills in communication, which is listening. Today, you will continue judging the validity of the evidence read or listened to, and our focus is on argumentative content, its parts and types of evidence. Let's get started. To those who are viewing through FB Live, you may read along with me, while those who are tuned in to their radio listen attentively as I read the text. Find out what the problem is and the stand of the writer on the issue. Now you are ready. As online learning becomes more common and more resources are converted to digital form, some people have suggested that public libraries should be shut down, and in their place, everyone should be given an iPad with an e-reader subscription. Proponents of these ideas state that it will save local cities and towns money because libraries are expensive to maintain. They also believe it will encourage more people to read because they won't have to travel to a library to get a book. They can simply click on what they want to read and read it from wherever they are. They could also access more materials because libraries won't have to buy physical copies of books. They can simply rent out as many digital copies as they need. However, it would be a serious mistake to replace libraries with tablets. First, digital books and resources are associated with less learning and more problems than print resources. A study done on tablet versus book reading found that people read 20 to 30% slower on tablets, retain 20% less information, and understand 10% less of what they read compared to people who read the same information in print. Additionally, staring too long at a screen has been shown to cause numerous health problems, including blurred vision, dizziness, dry eyes, headaches, and eye strain at much higher instances than reading print does. While replacing libraries with tablets may seem like a simple solution, it would encourage people to spend even more time looking at digital screens. Despite the many issues surrounding them, it would also end access to many of the benefits of libraries that people have come to rely on. In many areas, libraries are such an important part of the community that they could never be replaced by a simple object. So this essay has been gotten from prepscholar.com argumentative essay examples. Now, what was the text all about? Yes, you are right. It is all about replacing public libraries with ebooks. Hmm, what's your opinion on this issue? Come on, feel free to type in I agree or disagree on this page. Okay, thank you for your responses. Well, what you just read or listened to is an example of an argumentative content. Argumentative content tries to change the reader's mind by convincing him to agree with the writer's point of view. It presents and explains the issue. It gives reasons and supports these reasons to prove its point. It even disproves opposing arguments. It should also be written objectively and logically. Argumentative content has three main parts: the introduction, body, and conclusion. The introduction gives the problem, the background information needed for the argument, and the thesis statement. Let's go back to the text you just listened to. The text points out the suggestion of shutting down public libraries and resorting to e-reader subscription since online learning is more convenient and common now. While the thesis statement is a concise, one-sentence summary of your main point and claim. In the given text, the thesis statement is, however, it would be a serious mistake to replace libraries with tablets. Now, the second part of an argumentative content is the body. This contains the reasons why you support your thesis. These supporting materials can be examples, researches, statistics, studies, text citations, personal experiences, or quotations. The listening text enumerated the advantages of having e-reader subscriptions. These are, number one, to save money, which means there is no to save effort. Simply click on whatever you want to read anytime, anywhere. However, it also cited disadvantages of replacing public libraries with tablets or iPads. Number one, digital books and resources are associated with less learning and more problems than print resources. And staring too long at a screen has been shown to cause numerous health problems. Lastly, the conclusion restates the thesis and summarizes all of the arguments. The writer emphasized that the function of libraries can't be replaced by a simple object. Those are the three parts of argumentative content: introduction, body, and conclusion. Now you are ready for your first activity. Write yay if the statement about content and its parts are true. If false, write nay. I repeat, write yay if the statement about content and its parts are true. If false, write nay. Number 1. The introduction includes the reasons of the argument. The introduction includes the reasons of the argument. Number 2. Background information is needed for the thesis statement. Background information is needed for the thesis statement. Number 3. Argumentative content assumes that the reader agrees with the writer. Argumentative content assumes that the reader agrees with the writer. The conclusion summarizes the arguments and supports the main premise. Number 4. The conclusion summarizes the arguments and supports the main premise. And number 5. An argumentative content should be written objectively and logically. An argumentative content should be written objectively and logically. Okay, let us check your work. Here are the answers. For number 1, the answer is nay. It is false because the body contains the reasons. Number 2, yay. Yes, this is true. Background information is needed for the thesis statement. Number 3, nay. It assumes that the reader disagrees with the writer. Number 4, yay. The statement is true. The conclusion summarizes the arguments and supports the main premise. And number 5, yay. This is true. An argumentative content should be written objectively and logically. Now, who got a perfect score? I hope everyone did. Great job! All right, now let us now move on to the different types of evidence. According to the Merriam Dictionary, evidence is defined as something that furnishes proof, or it's called a testimony. Now, there are four types of evidence: testimonial evidence, statistical evidence, anecdotal evidence, and analogical evidence. Now, let's discuss each type. Testimonial evidence is a statement of truth from a certain person made under oath in a court, or testimonies offered to prove the truth of the matter. Examples of testimonial evidence are interviews with experts and quotes from an expert's book or paper. Now, let me borrow a quote from Henry C., Chairman and CEO of SM Investments Corporation. There is no such thing as overnight success or easy money. If you fail, do not be discouraged. Try again. When you do well, do not change your ways. Success is not just good luck. It is a combination of hard work, good credit standing, opportunity, readiness, and timing. Success will not last if you do not take care of it. Now, was Henry C. credible to talk about the secret to success? Definitely. He was the wealthiest man in the country for 11 consecutive years. Now, moving on to the second type of evidence. Statistical evidence is the result of researches or surveys that can never be proven because of probability or likelihood, which is from random sampling. Examples of statistical evidence are numbers from researches or surveys, percentages from government reports or studies. From the text that you've read or listened to, here is an example of a statistical evidence. A study done on tablet versus book reading found that people read 20 to 30% slower on tablets, retain 20% less information, and understand 10% less of what they read compared to people who read the same information in print. Remember, grade 9 learners, numbers are pieces of evidence. The third type of evidence is the anecdotal evidence. This is collected in a casual or informal manner and relying heavily or entirely on personal testimony. Examples of these are journals or letters, personal experiences related to the topic. Wow! I took this supplement and lost a lot of weight. This pill must work. Here, the speaker says his personal experience about how diet pills worked for him. Lastly, analogical evidence is based on the idea that two or more things are similar in some aspects. There is a tendency that they are also similar in other aspects. Examples of these are an expert's opinion about a topic similar to your thesis, statistics from a journal related to your topic, but not exactly the same. My father was a heavy smoker most of his life, but at 86, he is still strong. Therefore, smoking is not dangerous to health. Remember grade 9? To argue by analogy is to argue that because two things are similar, what is true of one is true of the other. There you have it. Those are the 4 types of evidence which you can use in proving or disproving arguments. Let us now answer Activity 2. Here are the definitions of the different types of evidence. Identify the type of evidence being described. Write A for testimonial evidence, B for statistical evidence, C for anecdotal evidence, and D for analogical evidence. Number 1. This is a statement of truth from a certain person made under oath in a court or testimonies offered to prove the truth of the matter. Number 2. This is collected in a casual or informal manner and relying heavily or entirely on personal testimony. Number 3. This is the result of researches or surveys that can never be proven because of probability or likelihood, which is from random sampling. Number 4. This is based on the idea that 2 or more things are similar in some aspects. There is a tendency that they are also similar in other aspects. Okay, now let's have the answers. The correct answers are number 1, letter A. Number 2, letter C. Number 3, letter B. And number 4, letter D. Well done, grade 9 learners. Now we may proceed to activity 3. Study the examples of evidence. Classify whether they belong to testimonial evidence, statistical evidence, anecdotal evidence, or analogical evidence. Letter A, we have journals or letters. B, interviews with experts. C, an expert's opinion about a topic similar to your thesis. D, numbers from researches or surveys. E, quotes from an expert's book or paper. F, percentages from government reports or studies. G, statistics from a journal related to your topic but not exactly the same. And H, personal experience related to the topic. You are given 1 more minute to finish this activity. Let us find out the correct answers. Testimonial evidence, we have B and E. Statistical evidence, D and F. Anecdotal evidence, A and H. Analogical evidence, C and G. Congratulations, grade 9 learners, for doing a good job. Take time to review your notes for the mastery of this lesson. For your post-listening or viewing activities, you have to listen to another text or read another text and note important details. Then answer the following questions. What is the issue presented? What is the writer's stand on the issue? Write the evidence that supports the opinion of the writer. Listen or read again the second paragraph of the text. Tell what type of evidence was used to prove the point of the writer. Do you agree with the writer's opinion? Why or why not? Submit your output to your English teacher. Listening is truly an important skill in communication. I am so glad that we focused on this today. Frank Tiger said we must learn to be good listeners, for our ears will never get us in trouble. This has been John T. Castillo, your teacher broadcaster from Tarlac National High School, saying, happy learning and have a great day.
Sa pagnanais na mapigilan ng ating pamahalaan ang pagdami ng bilang ng mga kaso ng COVID-19, binuo ang One Hospital Command Center o OHCC upang mas mabilis na matugunan ang medikal na pangangailangan ng ating mga kababayan. Bukas ang OHCC 24 oras araw-araw. Tumawag lamang sa mga hotline nito sa 0919-977-3333 o 0915-777-7777 o 02-886-50500. Maaari ring i-download ang Pure Force Citizens app sa Android o iOS upang mabilis na matugunan ang sinumang nangangailangan. Layon din ng OHCC na maiwasang mapuno ang kapasidad ng bawat ospital. Kaya't kung ikaw ay kinakailangang tumawag sa OHCC, mabibigyan ka ng libreng preliminary consultation. Para sa mga nangangailangan ng emergency quick response, makikipag-ugnayan ang OHCC sa DOH Bed Tracker at sa mga ospital upang makahanap agad ng pinakamalapit na bakanteng ospital. Ang transportasyon o ambulansya naman ng ospital na inirefer ng OHCC sa pasyente ang siyang susundo sa bahay nito. Kaya't kapag ikaw ay nakakaranas ng anumang sintomas ng COVID-19 o nangangailangan ng agarang tulong medikal, tumawag lamang sa OHCC at handa silang tumulong sa lahat ng oras.
Mabuhay mga bata! Sa mga batang nasa ikalimang baitan, hello!
Magandang araw din sa inyo, mahal naming magulang. Ito ang
Aral TarlakHenyo ng SDO Tarlac Province dito sa RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
At DZTC, Radio Pilipino, Tarlac.
Happy learning, grade 4. Welcome to
Aral TarlakHenyo here on RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
Simulcast over DZTC 828, Radio Pilipino, Tarlac.
Welcome sa ating Aral TarlakHenyo ng Schools Divisions of Tarlac Province. Hatid sa inyo ng RTV Tarlac, Channel 26 at DZTC 828 Radio Pilipino Tarlac. Isang masigla at ligtas na hapon sa mga ka-Tarlakhenyo. Narito na naman tayo, nagsisikap at nagpupunyagi upang maging makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan at makabansa. Kamusta kayo mga ginigiliw kong mag-aral sa ikasyam na baitang? Naway masigla, malakas, at malayo kayo sa kahit anumang karamdaman. Ang aking pagbati at paghanga sa inyong masidhing pagpupunyagi sa patuloy na pag-aaral sa kabila ng hamon ng pagkakataon, ang COVID-19 pandemic. Ako ang inyong lingkod, May Iyagdon, ang inyong guro on air, broadcasting live mula dito sa Kapas Tarlac. Narito ako upang samahan at gabayan kayong maunawaan ang nilalaman ng ating aralin para sa araw na ito. Bago pa man tayo magsimula sa ating talakayan ay narito ang ilan sa mga paalala. Tandaan, siguruhin ninyong nasa lugar kayo ngayon na komportable at maayos na naririnig ang ating broadcast. Matanong ko lang, nagmerienda na ba kayo? Mabuti naman, dahil nararapat lamang na may laman ang inyong tiyan, upang sa ganon maging alerto ang inyong pag-iisip at mabilis na maunawaan ang ating aralin para sa araw na ito. Sa puntong ito ay nais kong kunin ninyo ang inyong module sa Araling Panlipunan para sa ating ika-6 na linggo sa ikatlong markahan, ang Module 4, Layunin at Pamamaraan ng Patakarang Piskal. Ihanda rin ang inyong notebook, ballpen at sulating papel upang sa ganon ay maitala ninyo ang mahalagang impormasyon at detalye na aking mababanggit. Ang ating paksang aralin ay patungkol sa konsepto ng patakarang piskal at dalawang paraan upang pangasiwaan ng pamahalaan ang paggamit ng pondo, ang expansionary fiscal policy at contractionary fiscal policy. Bago pa man tayo magsimula sa ating talakayan ay alalahanin muna natin ang ating nakaraang aralin. Natatandaan pa ba ninyo? Mabuti kung ganon. Sa nakaraang episode ay tinalakay natin ang konsepto, dahilan, bunga at mga pagtugon sa suliranin ng inflasyon. Ayon sa The Economics Glossary, ang inflasyon ay tumutukoy sa pagtaas ng pangkalahatang presyo ng mga piling produkto na nakapaloob sa basket of goods. Ayon naman sa aklat na Economics ni Parkin at Bade taong 2010, ang inflasyon ay pataas na paggalaw ng presyo sa pangkalahatang presyo ng mga bilihin sa isang ekonomiya. Sa ating screen ay malinaw na ipinapakita ng mga araw ang pagbaba at pagtaas ng presyo ng mga bilihin. Deflasyon o deflation na matatawag kung may pagbaba sa halaga ng presyo ng mga bilihin at hyperinflation naman kung patuloy na tumataas ang sa bawat oras, araw, linggo ang presyo ng mga bilihin. At ngayon ay sa palagay ko ay handa na kayo para sa ating bagong paksa patungkol sa konsepto ng patakarang piskal. Ganon din ang mga uri nito, ang expansionary fiscal policy at ang contractionary fiscal policy. Inaasahan na sa pagtatapos ng talakayan na ito ay mabibigyan natin ng katuturan at kahalagahan ang patakarang piskal. Gayon din ang pagkakaiba at pagkakatulad ng dalawang uri ng patakarang piskal, ang expansionary fiscal policy at contractionary fiscal policy. Sa lahat po ng mga magulang at mag-aaral sa ikasyam na baitang na nakikinig at nanonood sa ating istasyon, kung kayo po ay may katanungan o nais linawin sa ating paksa, kayo lamang po ay mag-message sa aking messenger. I-type lang po ang aking pangalan, May Iyag doon, o kaya tumawag o mag-text sa aking numero, 0949-750-5675. Binuulit ko, 0949-5675. Sa puntong ito, tayo ay magsimula na sa ating paksang aralin, ang konsepto ng patakarang piskal. Ang konsepto ng patakarang piskal ay tumutukoy sa behavior ng pamahalaan patungkol sa paggasta at pagbubuwis upang mabago ang galaw ng ekonomiya. Ayon sa libro ni Balitaw at iba pa taong 2014, ang konsepto sa patakarang piskal ay may hahalintulad ito sa pagbabudget sa mga gastusin sa iyong sariling pangangailangan o pagbabudget ng iyong mga magulang sa pangangailangan ng inyong pamilya. Sa screen ay makikita ninyo ang budget ng Pamilya Santos sa buwan ng Pebrero, na kung saan kapansin-pansin ang 20% ng kanyang budget ay nakalaan sa pagkain at inumin. Ganon din ang budget sa housing loan. Sumunod ang iba pang gastusin sa bahay. Samantala, 5% naman ang nilalaan para sa medical at transportasyon o pagbabiyahe. Ganyan din ang ginagawang paghahati o alokasyon ng budget ng ating pamahalaan sa iba't ibang ahensya. Ang ating pamahalaan ay may malaking papel na ginagampanan upang mapanatili ang kaayusan ng ekonomiya. Ayon naman kay John Maynard Keynes taong 1935, ipinapaliwanag nito na ang paggasta ng pamahalaan ay makapagpapasigla ng ekonomiya sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng lahat ng resources na mayroon ng isang bansa o lugar. Ito naman ay magdudulot ng mas maraming oportunidad para sa trabaho o negosyo. Ang patakarang piskal ay ang nagpapatupad ng epesyenteng alokasyon, tamang distribusyon ng yaman o kita, at pagkontrol ng pamahalaan sa supply ng salapi upang mapatatag ang ekonomiya ng isang bansa. Ito ay isinasagawa sa pamamagitan ng pagbubuwis at paggastos ng pamahalaan. Ang pagbabawas o pagdagdag sa paggasta ng pamahalaan At singil sa buwis ay isang paraan upang maiwasan ang mga bagay na makakahadlang sa maayos na daloy ng mga gawaing pang-ekonomiya sa bansa. Naniniwala si Keynes na ang patakarang piskal ay gumaganap ng mahalagang papel upang mayahon ang ekonomiya sa depresyon. Ang depresyon ay kakikitaan ng matagalan at patuloy na pagtaas sa antas ng walang trabaho, pagbaba ng kita, malawakang pagbabawas ng pamumuhunan, at pagliit ng bilang ng mga gawaing pang-ekonomiya. Inilalarawan ang patakarang piskal bilang manibela ng kabuong ekonomiya sa bansa. Isa rin itong paraan upang mapatatag ang pambansang ekonomiya. Nagsisilbi itong instrumento upang mapigilan ang hindi magandang kahihinatnan ng pagkakaroon ng kakulangan at kalabisan sa supply ng salapi sa ekonomiya. Binabalanse rin ito ng patakarang piskal ang mga gawaing pang-ekonomiya sa pamamagitan ng mga hakbang upang makontrol ang daloy ng salapi. May lalarawan ang isang matamlay na ekonomiya kapag mababa ang supply ng salapi sa ekonomiya na magdudulot ng pagbaba ng kabuuang demand. Maliit rin ang bilang ng mga namumuhunan sa bansa kaya mababa ang kabuuang produksyon at mataas ang bilang ng mga walang trabaho. May dalawang paraan upang mapangasiwan ng pamahalaan ang pondo. Ito ay sa pamamagitan ng expansionary fiscal policy at contractionary fiscal policy. Halina't ating pag-aralan ang pagkakaiba at pagkakatulad ng mga ito. Ano nga ba ang expansionary fiscal policy? Ito ang pinakamabuting patakaran na makapagbibigay ng epektibong instrumento upang masolusyonan ang suliranin ng ating bansa lalo't higit ngayong may pandemya. Upang mapataas at mapasiglang muli ang output ng ekonomiya, ay ipinapatupad ng pamahalaan ang expansionary fiscal policy. Kapag dinagdagan ng pamahalaan ng gastos nito sa pamamagitan ng pagbalikat ng mga proyektong panlipunan tulad ng pagpapagawa ng mga tulay at kalsada, gumagasta ito para sa mga kasangkapan na magsisilbi namang kita ng mga bahay kalakal. Ang mataas na paggasta ng pamahalaan ay humihikayat sa mga bahay kalakal na dagdagan ang produksyon na magdudulot ng malaking kita. Lilikha rin ito ng karagdagang empleyo kapag may trabaho ang mga tao. Magkakaroon sila ng kita na maaaring gastusin upang lumaki ang kabuuang demand at makatutulong upang sumigla ang matamlay na ekonomiya. Maaari namang bawasan ng ating pamahalaan ang singil sa buwis, magbigay ng exemption sa buwis, pag-alis ng custom duties, pagpapababa ng sales tax at excise tax na binabayaran ng mga mamamayan at bahay kalakal upang pasiglahin ang matamlay na ekonomiya lalo na sa panahon ng resesyon at upang mapigilan ang pagkakaroon nito. Yan ang expansionary fiscal policy. Ngayon naman ay ating pag-aaralan at pag-uusapan ang contractionary fiscal policy. Ano nga bang pagkakaiba nito sa expansionary fiscal policy? Karaniwang ipinapatupad ng pamahalaan ang contractionary fiscal policy kung lubhang napakasigla ng ekonomiya kung saan nagkakaroon ng overheated economy. Bunga ito ng mas mataas na kabuuang demand kumpara sa kabuuang supply. Mataas ang demand dahil mataas ang supply ng salapi sa ekonomiya. Ibig sabihin, hindi makaagapay ang mga bahay kalakal sa mabilis na pagtaas ng demand. Kung hindi kayang palawakin ang produksyon, Magbubunga lamang ito ng inflasyon dahil mas mataas ang demand kumpara sa supply bunga ng labis na salapi sa ekonomiya. Layunin ng contractionary fiscal policy na pabagalin ang lubhang mabilis na pagsulong ng ekonomiya sa pamamagitan ng pagbabawas sa gastusin ng pamahalaan at pagpapataas ng singil sa buwis. Isinasagawa ito ng pamahalaan upang maiwasan ang pagkakaroon ng suliranin sa inflasyon at ibalik sa normal na antas ang presyo ng mga produkto at serbisyo sa pamilihan. Natalakay na natin ang patakarang piskal bilang paraan ng pamahalaan upang maibalik sa normal ang direksyon ng ekonomiya. Gayon din ay ating tinalakay ang dalawang uri nito, ang expansionary at contractionary fiscal policy, na kung saan isinasagawa ito ng pamahalaan upang sa ganon ay maayos na magamit ang mga pondo sa pamahalaan. Para mapatunayan ko na kayo nga ay nakinig at natuto sa araw na ito, ay magbibigay ako ng isang gawain. Heto ang panutong. Basahin, unawain at suriin ang bawat pangungusap na aking mababanggit. Isulat ang I kung ang pangungusap ay akma sa expansionary fiscal policy o C kung ito naman ay contractionary fiscal policy. Handa na ba kayo? Magsimula na tayo. Number 1. Pagkakaroon ng mataas na singil sa buwis. Ito ba ay akma sa expansionary o contractionary fiscal policy? Number 2. Kailangan dagdagan ang gastusin sa pamahalaan. Number 3. Kailangan dagdagan ang supply sa salapi. Number 4. Pagkakaroon ng mababa sa singil sa buwis. Number 5. Kailangang bawasan ang gastusin sa pamahalaan. Tumungo na tayo sa number 6. Magkakaroon ng pagbabawas sa supply ng salapi. Number 7. Magkakaroon ng pagtaas ng kabuuang demand. At number 8. Isinasagawa upang maiwasan ang inflasyon. Number 9. Isinasagawa upang mabawasan ang kawalan ng trabaho sa bansa. At number 10, isinasagawa upang mapababa ang produksyon. Bibigyan ko kayo ng 1 minuto para matapos ang gawain na yan. Sa palagay ko ay handa na kayo at natapos na ninyong mabuti ang gawain natin. Alam ko nakuha ninyong lahat ang bawat numero. Handa na ba kayong i-check ang ating gawain? Alam ko excited na kayong malaman kung ilang puntos ang inyong nakuha. Mag-check na tayo. Ang mga kasagutan para sa unang bilang ay, sa palagay niyo, tama yan. Letter C. Ito ay akma sa contractionary fiscal policy. Pagkakaroon ng mataas na singil sa buwis ay akma sa contractionary fiscal policy. Number 2, ano nga ba ang sagot dyan? Tama. Ang galing naman ninyo. E. Expansionary fiscal policy sapagkat ito ay nangangailangan ng dagdag gastusin sa pamahalaan. At para sa number 3 at number 4, wow, ang galing naman ninyo. Nakuha nyo muli. Expansionary Fiscal Policy o letter E. Kailangang dagdagan ng supply sa salapi. At number 4, pagkakaroon ng mababa sa singil sa buwis. Punta tayo sa number 5, sa ikalima. Tama, letter C, Contractionary Fiscal Policy. Basahin natin muli. Kailangang bawasan ang gastusin ng pamahalaan. Gayon din sa ikalima, sa pang-anim at pang-pito. Anong sagot ulit sa pang-anim at pang-pito? Letter? Ano yung pang-pito natin? Okay, tama. Letter C o Contractionary Fiscal Policy. Tumungo na tayo sa ikawalo. Ano nga ba ang sagot sa ikawalo? Kung ating babasahin muli ito, isinasagawa upang maiwasan ang inflasyon. Tama. Letter E. At ang panghuli at pang-sampu ay tama kayong muli. Letter C. Contractionary Fiscal Policy upang mapababa ang produksyon. Wow, napakagaling naman ng ating mag-aaral sa kabuang lugar sa Tarlac. Alam ko maraming nakikinig ngayon sa iba't ibang mga paaralan dito sa Tarlac. At alam ko naging malinaw na sa inyo ngayon ang patakarang piskal na kung saan ay napag-aralan natin ang dalawang uri nito, ang expansionary fiscal policy at contractionary fiscal policy. Palagay ko ay nakakuha kayo ng 10. Ang galing naman ninyo. Binabati ko kayo sa bagay na yan. Maaari na ninyong kunan ng larawan gamit ng inyong cellphone ang inyong ginawang gawain. At isumiti ito sa Facebook Messenger ng inyong guro sa Araling Panlipunan. Kung may katanungan kayo, huwag kayong magdalawang isip na i-message sa Messenger ang inyong guro. Sa mga walang access sa internet, wala pong problema dyan. Maaring ipasa ang inyong ginawang gawain sa inyong barangay hall sa itinakdang oras at panahon ng pagsasauli at pagkuha ng module. Tandaan, huwag kalimutang ilagay ang inyong pangalan, grade, section at syempre ang inyong eskwelahan. Isang paalala lamang, tanging ang inyong magulang o guardian ang maaaring magtungo sa barangay hall sa pagpasa ng learning activity sheet. Sila din ay inaasang sumunod sa ating health protocols, gaya ng pagsuot ng face mask, face shield, paghuhugas ng kamay at physical distancing. Sa susunod na aralin ay ating tatalakayin ang kahalagahan ng papel na ginagampanan ng pamahalaan. Kaugnay nito ang patakarang piskal na pinapatupad nito. Gayon din ay matututunan din nyo at pag-aaralan ninyo ang pambansang budget. At gayon din ang paggasta ng pamahalaan. So titingnan natin kung ano nga ba ang ginagawang paraan ng pamahalaan kung paano niya balansin ang kanyang pondo sa bawat ahensya. Naway marami kayong natutunan sa ating aralin para sa araw na ito. Laging tandaan, we learn as one, we heal as one, at magagawa natin iyan sa pagtutulungan. Muli, ako ang inyong guro, May Iyagdon para sa Araling Panlipunan na laging nagsasabing ang pag-aaral ng Araling Panlipunan ay daan sa pagiging makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan, at makabansa. Happy Eco Afternoon, mga kabataang TarlakHenyo. Hanggang sa muli!
Mabuhay mga bata! Sa mga batang nasa ikalimang baitan, hello!
Magandang araw din sa inyo, mahal naming magulang. Ito ang
Aral TarlakHenyo ng SDO Tarlac Province dito sa RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
At DZTC, Radio Pilipino, Tarlac.
Happy learning, Grade 4. Welcome to
Aral TarlakHenyo here on RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
Simulcast over DZTC 828, Radio Filipino Tarlac.
Alam niyo ba na ang Pilipinas ay mayroong 7,641 islands? Mula sa bilang na 7,107 islands, nadagdagan ito ng 534 na isla noong 2017. Tanging 2,000 lamang sa mga islang ito ang natitirhan. Alam niyo na! Yan ang mga isla sa Pilipinas.
Good afternoon, learners! Welcome to Aral TarlakHenyo here on RTV Tarlac Channel 26, simulcast over DZTC 828 Radio Filipino Tarlac. Broadcasting to you live from Herona, Tarlac, I am Teacher Joyce Bozon Baldovi, your broadcaster in TLE Kukiri Grade 9. How are you today? I hope you are in good health and with a positive outlook in life. Today, we will focus our discussion on the area of home economics, which is cookery. Are you ready to learn something new today? Well, great! Make sure that you are in a comfortable place, willing to join and participate actively. And do not forget your compendium of notes in cookery plus paper and pen. Do you still remember what was our last topic? Okay, good to hear. Then let's have a recap. What was our last topic about? Very good. It is all about the ingredients used for making sandwiches. Now, could you give the 9 ingredients used for making sandwiches? Correct! These are breads, meats, poultry, fish and shellfish, cheese, spreads, condiments, vegetables, and lastly, the miscellaneous. Now let me ask you 2 questions regarding our last topic. Are you ready? First question. These are chicken or turkey breasts characterized by a delicate golden brown surfaces. Letter A, poultry, B, meats, letter C, breads, and letter D, cheese. If your answer is letter A, which is poultry, that's correct. Congratulations. Second question. These are maybe beef, pork, and sausage products like ham, roast beef, and salami. A, poultry, B, meats, letter C, breads, or letter D, cheese. If your answer is letter B, which is meat, again, that's correct. I am glad that you still remember what we have discussed last time. Are you ready for our next lesson? Very good. Now you may open your compendium of notes, and our lesson for today is all about the different types of sandwiches. But before we start, we will play a game. Are you familiar with the game 4 Picks 1 Word? Okay, very good. Let us start. Let's start. Four pictures will be flashed on the screen and you will identify the word that is being discussed. Okay, here is picture number 1. Okay, picture number 1. What must it be? Do you have any idea? Okay. Do you have any idea what is picture number 1? Yes, very good. It's hamburger. Next slide, please. What do you think is the answer? Okay, the answer is sandwich. You got it right. Therefore, that leads us to our lesson for today, which is the different types of sandwiches. Let us know first what is a sandwich. Do you have any idea? Okay, sandwich is made up of one or more slices of bread with nutritious filling between them. If there is no available sliced bread, you can also use the buns, such as monay, pandesal, or any other plain bread that is available at home. And for the filling may be slices of cold meat, chopped meat, eggs, chicken, ham, and cheese with cream butter, vegetables, ketchup, or maybe mayonnaise. Now for the alternatives of the fillings, you can have any of your desired fillings as long as it complements your taste buds. Let me repeat on that. You can have any of your desired fillings as long as it complements your taste buds. Let's have the link from the past. Let us know the history of the sandwich. The sandwich is named after Sir John Montagu of England from 1718 to 1792, the fourth Earl of Sandwich. Now to satisfy his appetite, his servants brought him bread and meat. Sir John combined the two so he could eat with only one hand, and this combination became known as the sandwich. One of America's most popular sandwiches is the hamburger and was originally called a Hamburg steak after its city of origin, Hamburg, Germany. German immigrants introduced the hamburger into the United States. The Earl of Sandwich idea of not letting a meal interrupt other activities became a very popular concept in the 20th century. People wanted food in a hurry that could be eaten on the run. Now in 1954, Ray Kroc founded the McDonald's franchise based on the concept of fast service at a low price. Fast food sandwiches as we know them today were born. Now, we'll have the different types of sandwiches. Basically, we have two types of sandwiches. First is the cold sandwiches. It is a type of sandwich which is usually served cold or at a room temperature. Its fillings are readily available and spreadable. Example fillings of cold sandwiches are tuna, sour cream, avocado, and sandwich spreads. Second is the hot sandwiches. Consist of hot fillings, usually meats, but sometimes fish, and grilled vegetables or other hot items. Example of hot fillings: grilled cheese, barbecue, or any other fillings that are fried or grilled. Now, these are the following examples of cold sandwiches. First, we have the regular cold sandwiches. Regular cold sandwich is a plain sandwich that is made up of two slices of bread, preferably a day-old bread, toasted if desired, and on which butter can be readily spread. Its crust may or may not be removed, depending upon your preference, of course. Butter, mayonnaise, or a prepared sandwich spread may be used as a lining to prevent the bread from absorbing moisture from the filling. Moreover, it ensures that the bread and the filling will stick together. We also have the open face sandwich. Open face sandwiches makes use of one kind of bread with filling on top. The slices of white bread can be cut into squares, triangles, or even rounds. Put some spread slightly on top, and pieces of cheese or meat fillings are arranged and garnished attractively. The use of biscuits, cookies, or toast instead of using breads is also favorable. Next, we have the pinwheel sandwiches. Pinwheels are made of bread that is cut lengthwise, about 3/8 inch thick. Fresh cream bread, preferable because they are easy to roll and will not crack. Trim crust and flatten long slices with the use of the rolling pin. Spread bread with softened butter or margarine and your choice of any smooth filling like cream cheese, marmalades, cheese pimiento, peanut butter, jams, and jellies. Smooth filling are ideal for pinwheel sandwiches. Why? Because they do not have bulk and can be spread thinly. Roll up bread like a jelly roll. Next, we have the tea sandwiches. Tea sandwiches are small, fancy sandwiches made from light, delicate ingredients and bread that has been trimmed off the crust and may be made ahead of time and frozen. They are often cut into fancy shapes such as squares, rectangles, and oblongs to add to the variety. Fillings and spreads can be the same as those for canapes. Next, we have the multi-decker sandwich. These are made with more than two slices of bread or rolls split into more than two pieces and with several ingredients in the filling. The club sandwich is a very popular multi-decker sandwich made of three slices of toast and filled with sliced chicken, mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, and bacon and cut into four triangles. And finally, we have the wrap or the rolled sandwiches. Wrap sandwiches in which fillings are wrapped like a Mexican burrito in a large flour tortilla of similar flatbread. They may be served whole or cut in half if it is large. Now we will have the hot sandwiches. The following are examples of hot sandwiches. First is the regular hot sandwiches. These are simple hot sandwiches consist of hot fillings, usually meats but sometimes fish, grilled vegetables, or other hot items between two slices of bread. They may also contain items that are not hot, such as a slice of tomato or raw onion and lettuce on a hamburger. Next will be the hot open face sandwich. These sandwiches are made by placing buttered or unbuttered on the bread on a serving plate, covering it with hot meat or other filling, and topping with a sauce, gravy, cheese, or other toppings. And this type of sandwich is eaten with a knife and fork. Next is the filled rolls, focaccia, or pita bread. Filled rolls are flavored breads served with dips like quesadillas and the burritos. We also have the deep fried sandwiches. Deep fried sandwiches are made by dipping sandwiches in beaten egg and sometimes in breadcrumbs and then deep fried. It can also be made by folding the dough over a stuffing, which may consist of meat, cheese, corn, or other ingredients. And lastly, we have the grilled sandwiches. Grilled sandwiches, also called toasted sandwiches, are simple sandwiches that are buttered on the outside and browned on the griddle, in a hot oven or in a panini grill. Sandwiches containing cheese are very popular for grilling. Now, let me tell you the three importance of our sandwiches. Of course, number one, they give us meals that help us to sustain in our daily lives. Second, they are expressions of our artistic intentions and feelings. And the third one, they are the reason for endless discussion in the workplace and the media. Now, to sum it up, there are two types of sandwiches, namely the cold and the hot sandwiches. Under the cold sandwiches, we have six types. One is the regular cold sandwiches. Two is the open-faced sandwiches. Third is the pinwheel. Fourth is the tea sandwiches. Five is the multi-decker. And last, we have the wrap or the roll sandwiches. And under the hot sandwiches, we have five. Namely, one is the regular hot sandwiches. Two hot open-faced sandwiches. Three filled rolls, focaccia or pita bread. Four deep fried sandwiches. And five, we have the grilled sandwiches. I hope you learned something new to our lesson today. Now, my dear students, get a sheet of paper to gauge your learnings on the topic that we have discussed. We will have a short quiz. And our quiz is multiple choice. You are going to select the correct answer by writing the letter of your choice on your answer sheet. I will read the question twice. Are you ready? Okay, very good. For number one, it is a plain sandwich that is made up of two slices of bread, preferably a day-old bread, toasted if desired, and on which butter can be readily spread. I will repeat the question. A plain sandwich that is made up of two slices of bread, preferably a day-old bread, toasted if desired, and on which butter can be readily spread. Choices are A. Open-faced sandwich. Letter B. Pinwheel sandwich. Letter C. Regular cold sandwich. And letter D. Tea sandwich. Okay, next number two. Small fancy sandwiches made from light, delicate ingredients and bread that has been trimmed off crust. I will repeat. Small, fancy sandwiches made from light, delicate ingredients and bread that has been trimmed off crust. Choices are A. Tea sandwich. Letter B. Open-faced sandwich. Letter C. Regular hot sandwich. And letter D. Wrap or rolled sandwich. Next number three. These are sandwiches in which the fillings are wrapped like a Mexican burrito in a large flour tortilla of similar flatbread. Again, sandwiches in which the fillings are wrapped like a Mexican burrito in a large tortilla, flour tortilla of similar flatbread. Choices are A. Wrap or rolled sandwich. Letter B. Regular hot sandwich. Letter C. Grilled sandwich. And letter D. Deep fried sandwich. Next number. Simple hot sandwiches consist of hot fillings, usually meats but sometimes fish, grilled vegetables, or other hot items between two slices of bread. I will repeat. Simple hot sandwiches consist of hot fillings, usually meats, but sometimes fish, grilled vegetables, or other hot items between two slices of bread. Choices are A. Wrap or rolled sandwich. Letter B. Tea sandwich. Letter C. Regular hot sandwich. And letter D. Deep fried sandwich. Last number. It is also called toasted sandwiches. These are simple sandwiches that are buttered on the outside and browned on the griddle. Again, also called toasted sandwiches, these are simple sandwiches that are buttered on the outside and browned on the griddle. Choices are A. Wrap sandwich. B. Grilled sandwich. Letter C. Regular hot sandwich. Or letter D. Deep fried sandwich. Okay, this is it. Let us now check your answers. Okay, for number 1, we have letter C, which is regular cold sandwiches. And for number 2, we have letter A, which is tea sandwiches. For number 3, we have letter A, wrap or rolled sandwiches. And for number 4, we have letter C, regular hot sandwiches. And lastly, we have letter B, grilled sandwiches. Okay, count the number of the correct answers. Now, for those who got a perfect score, congratulations, you did a great job. And for those who got 4, very good. For those who got 3, good job. And for those who got 2 and below, it's okay. Don't lose hope and keep trying. Get your module and review. Is that okay? Very good. Now, while we are discussing a while ago, we have some questions here. And I have 5 questions. Question number 1 from Paniki Tarlac. Ma'am, what if we do not have sliced bread at home? What are the alternative breads that we can use in making a sandwich? Okay, so if you do not have sliced bread at home, you can also use buns such as monay, pandesal, which are available at sari-sari store or available at your home. Second question from Kaluluwan High School. Ma'am, can we consider the pizza as a sandwich? Yes, of course. Pizza qualifies as a sandwich under the hot, open-faced sandwich. Third question from Buenlag High School. Ma'am, what does the day-old bread mean? Very good question. Day-old bread means it is fresh and it has a good quality and the bread is very firm. Okay? Question number 4. Ma'am, what is the most popular type of sandwich? Well, basically, the most popular sandwich for the average Filipinos like us is the regular cold sandwich. Why? Because it only requires a simple bread and a simple filling, which is very affordable for us. And maybe this is the last question. Ma'am, do we consider the shawarma a sandwich? If it is a sandwich, what type of sandwich it is? Yes, shawarma is also a sandwich and it is under the wrap or the rolled sandwich. Okay, before I end our lesson, I would like you to leave a saying that says, life is like a sandwich. The more you add to it, the better it becomes. This is Project Shine, Aral TarlakHenyo, brought to you by the Department of Education, Division of Tarlac Province, in cooperation with DZTC 828, Radyo Pilipino, Tarlac. I am Teacher Joyce Bauzon Baldovi of Balawang National High School, Grade 9 TLE Anchor, Teacher for today. Saying in TLE, we aim for skills, knowledge, and progress. Thank you and God bless. Until next time.
Tuwing sasapit ang alas 5 ng hapon, parangalan natin ang ating mga kababayan na nasa unahan laban sa COVID-19. Lumabas tayo sa pintuan ng ating mga tahanan. Dumungaw tayo sa ating mga bintana. At atin silang bigyan ng masigabong palakpakan. Gumawa tayo ng ingay, ipagbunyi ang ating frontliners, at ipahayag ang ating walang hanggang suporta sa kanilang kabayanihan.
Gusto ko lang pong i-take itong opportunity ito para magpasalamat sa lahat ng mga doktor at nurses, especially yung mga nag-alaga po sa akin, sa buong Asian Hospital, at sa lahat po ng ating frontliners.
Umawit tayo at sumayaw at ipakita ang ating talento bilang pagsaludo sa mga bayaning nasa unahan. Talunin natin ang COVID-19. Sama-sama nating pagalingin ang ating inang bayan. Kaya natin to. We heal as one.
masaya ako na nagkaroon ako ng chance, ng opportunity na makasama kayong lahat. Ma-share ko yung mga tips makakaganda at makakapagpasaya sa buhay-buhay natin, di ba mga Mars? Kaya Mars, tandaan ninyo, dito, kayo ang bida.
Buhay mga bata, sa mga batang nasa ikalimang baitan. Hello!
Magandang araw din sa inyo, mahal naming magulang. Ito ang
Aral TarlakHenyo ng SDO Tarlac Province dito sa RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
At DZTC, Radio Pilipino, Tarlac.
Happy learning, grade 4. Welcome to
Aral TarlakHenyo here on RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
Simulcast over DZTC 828, Radio Pilipino, Tarlac.
A blessed and good afternoon, Tarlac Province and Grade 9 learners. You are still watching Aral TarlakHenyo, a school on the air program here on RTV Tarlac Channel 26, simulcast over DZTC Radio Filipino 828. You can also watch us live via our Facebook page at RTV Tarlac Channel 26. Hello there mga Lodi, I'm your teacher podcaster, Sir Ram Gawat, and I will be giving you an exciting and fun learning experience in P9. Before we begin our session today, may I just give you some reminders for a wonderful and meaningful learning experience this afternoon. Find and be in a place that you feel comfortable and can move. Bring with you your pen, a clean sheet of paper, and your activity sheet. And please pay your full attention during our discussion. And if you have questions or clarifications, feel free to send us your message through the comment section in our FB Live, or you may ask your MAPE teacher. To begin with our session for today, let's take a look back with our previous lesson with Sir Christian about festival dancing. In your activity sheet, we will answer activity number 1. We will just identify what is being described in the given statements. Write your answers on the space provided in your activity sheet. Are you ready? Let's get started. Number 1. These are cultural dances performed to the strong beats of percussion instruments by a community of people sharing the same culture, usually in honor of a patron saint or in the thanksgiving of a bountiful harvest. What is your answer? If your answer is festival dance, you are correct. Number 2. A type of festival done in thanksgiving for a bountiful harvest. What is your answer? The correct answer is secular or non-religious festival. Number 3. A religious festival done in honor of Santo Niño held around January in Cebu City. What is your answer? If you answered Sinulog Festival, then you are correct. Number 4. A non-religious festival in honor of the Thanksgiving and bountiful harvest of flowers held around February to May in Baguio City. What is your answer? If you have answered Panagbenga Festival, you are correct. How was your score? If you got all 4 correct answers, great job. It only shows that you remembered our past lesson and you are ready for our next topic. For today, we are going to continue the discussion on festival dancing. Specifically, we are going to talk about the fundamental body movements and some of the basic steps used in festival dancing. At the end of our lesson today, you should be able to identify and execute the basic steps in festival dancing. Are you ready for today's lesson? Tara na, let's G! Let's talk first about fundamental body movement. What is fundamental body movement? How important it is to know about fundamental body movement. Fundamental body movement are the building blocks necessary for more complex physical activities. Playing sports, exercising, and dancing all require a command of simple, fundamental body movements. Learning fundamental body movement provides the basis of physical literacy. Physical literacy describes the ability of a person to instruct the body to perform an action accurately and with confidence, and to recognize the physical, social, cognitive, and emotional attributes required to do so effectively. Fundamental body movement includes 2 types of movements, the locomotor and non-locomotor movements. Locomotor movement refers to body movements that move the body from one place to another. They cause the body to travel. On the other hand, when we say non-locomotor movement, also sometimes called actual movement, these are movements of certain body parts or even the whole body without causing the body to travel. Notice that non-locomotor movements are often combined with locomotor movements. What are the different movements that are considered locomotor and non-locomotor movements? Given the definition, can you differentiate a locomotor movement from a non-locomotor movement? Let us see if you can identify which among the given movements are locomotor movement and non-locomotor movement. In your activity sheet, let's do activity number 2. You are going to identify which among the given movements are locomotor and non-locomotor movement. Ready your activity sheet and let's do it. Number 1, walk. What is your answer? The correct answer is locomotor movement. Number 2, how about rotate? What is your answer? If your answer is non-locomotor movement, you are correct. Number 3, run. What is your answer? The correct answer is locomotor movement. Number 4, twist. What is your answer? If your answer is non-locomotor movement, you are correct. Last, number 5, step. What is your answer? If your answer is locomotor movement, you are correct. Who among you got 5 correct answers? Very good. Again, when we say locomotor movement, these are movements that allows the body to travel from one place to another. And when we say non-locomotor movement, these are movements of a certain body parts or the whole body that do not cause the body to travel from one place to another. Here are the examples of locomotor and non-locomotor movements. For locomotor movements, we have step, the basis of all locomotor movements. Walk, a series of steps. Run. A series of walks quickly. Jump. Both feet lose contact on the floor. On the other hand, here are the examples of non-locomotor movements. We have flex and bend to decrease the angle of a joint. Extension to stretch the angle of a joint. Rotate to move a body segment in full circle. Twist to move a body segment halfway front or back. Pivot to face in a less than 360 degrees. Turn to move in a complete circle. Now, the question is, what is the relevance of fundamental body movement to festival dancing? Fundamental body movement are building blocks necessary for more complex physical activities. Without understanding them, we cannot perform or execute more complex activities or movements that is required for festival dancing. Moving on, at this point, we are going to learn some of the basic dance steps for festival dancing. Are you excited to get on your feet and dance? If that is the case, let's do it. I suggest find a spot where you can move so that you can dance with me. The first step is the close step. How are we going to execute the close step? Here is the step pattern. Step right foot sideward on count 1. Close left foot to right foot on count 2. Let's try to do it. Just follow my instruction. The first step that I'm going to teach you is the close step. Here is a step pattern. Step right foot sideward on count 1. Close step left foot to right foot on count 2. Let me show you. On count 1, we are going to step right foot sideward. On count 2, we are going to step left foot close to right foot. Let me demonstrate it. 1, 2. We can also do the close step starting with our left foot. Let me show you. On count 1, we are going to step left foot sideward. On count 2, we are going to step our right foot close to our left foot. Let me do it. 1, 2. Can you do the close step? Yes, you can. Let's do the close step alternately, starting with the left foot. Let's do it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's it. That is the close step. Did you get it? I know everyone got it right because you are all Lodi and Petmalu when it comes to dancing. Next, we have the blacking. The step pattern for blacking is step right foot in place in count 1, heel place left foot in front on count 2. Let's try to do it. Next is blacking. Here is the step pattern. Step right foot in place on count 1. Heel place left foot in front on count 2. Let me show how to do the blacking. On count 1, we are going to step our right foot in place. On count 2,
Heel place left foot in front. Let me demonstrate the blocking. 1, 2. We can also try blocking by starting with our left foot. Here is the step pattern. Step left foot in place and count 1. Heel place right in front and count 2. Let me demonstrate it. 1, 2. Can you do it? Let's do it all together. The blocking. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Next, we also have the touch step. The step pattern for the touch step is step right foot sideward and count 1. Point left foot in front of the right foot and count 2. Again, let's try to do it.
We also have the touch step. Here is the step pattern. Step right foot sideward and count 1. Point left foot in front of the right foot and count 2. Let me show you how to do it. On count 1, we are going to step our right foot sideward. On count 2, we are going to point our left foot in front of our right foot. Let me demonstrate it. 1, 2. We can also do the touch step starting with our left foot. Let me show you how to do it. On count 1, we are going to step our left foot sideward. On count 2, we are going to point right foot in front of the left foot. Let me demonstrate it. 1, 2. Can you do the touch step? Yes, of course. Let's do the touch step alternately, starting with our right foot. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Can you still follow? I'm sure you can. We also have the change step. To do the change step, here is the step pattern. Step right foot on count 1. Close step left foot to right foot on count N. Step right foot in place on count 2. Let's try to do it.
Next is the change step. Here is the step pattern. Step right foot on count 1. Close step left foot to right foot on count N. Step right foot in place on count 2. Let me show you how to do it. On count 1, we are going to step right foot in any direction. On count N, we are going to step our left foot close to our right foot. On count 2, we are going to step our right foot in place. Let me demonstrate it. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Come on, join me in doing the change step. Let's do the change step alternately, starting with our right foot. Ready? 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Great job!
Basic, isn't it? Next, we have the cross change step. The step pattern for the cross change step is cross right foot over left foot on count 1. Step left foot sideward on count N. Step right foot in place on count 2. Again, to do the cross change step, here is the step pattern.
Next, we have the cross change step. Here is the step pattern. Cross right foot over left foot on count 1. Step left foot sideward on count N. Step right foot in place on count 2. Let me show you how to do it. On count 1, cross right foot over left foot. On count N, we are going to step left foot sideward. On count 2, we are going to step right foot in place. Let me demonstrate it. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. We can also do the cross change step starting with our left foot. Let me show you how to do it. On count 1, we are going to cross left foot over right foot. On count N, we are going to step right foot sideward. On count 2, we are going to step left foot in place. Let me demonstrate it. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Basic, isn't it? Let's do the cross change step all together. Let's do it alternately, starting with the right foot. Ready? Let's do it. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Great job.
And that's it, grading learners. Those are some of the basic steps we can put into our dance routine for festival dancing. You are really a certified Lodi and Pet Malu grading learners. Great job! It is now time to have a recap on our discussion. Fundamental body movement are building blocks necessary for more complex physical activities. We have locomotor movements. These are movements that allows you to move from one place to another. And non-locomotor movements, these are movements that perform in one point without transferring to another point. Also, these fundamental body movements are vital. Without them, we cannot perform or execute dance steps that is required for festival dancing. We also talk about the basic steps used in festival dancing, and this includes the close step, blacking, touch step, change step, and the cross change step. Now, let us see how much you have learned for today's lesson. Prepare now your activity sheet and answer the following questions in activity number 3. Ready? Let's do it. Number 1. These are movements that are performed in one point without transferring to another point. Is it A, locomotor movements, B, non-locomotor movements, C, motor movements, or letter D, non-motor movements? Number 2. Identify what step is this. Step right foot in place on count 1. Heel place left foot in front on count 2. Is it A, close step, B, blacking, C, touch step, or letter D, walk? Number 3. Identify what step is this. Step right sideward on count 1. Close step left foot to right foot on count 2. Is it A, close step, B, blacking, C, touch step, or letter D, walk? Number 4. These are movements that allows you to move from one space to another. Is it A, locomotor movements, B, non-locomotor movements, C, motor movements, or letter D, non-motor movements? Number 5. Identify what step is this. Step right foot sideward on count 1. Point left foot in front of the right foot on count 2. Is it A, close step, B, blacking, C, touch step, or letter D, walk? Now, let's finalize your answers. Let's check your answers. For number 1, the correct answer is letter B, non-locomotor movements. For number 2, letter B, blocking. Number 3, letter A, closed step. Number 4, A, locomotor movement. For number 5, letter C, touch step. Did you get all the correct answers? Wow, very good. And if you have wrong answers, you can always read back and ask your MAPE teachers for any clarifications. I think that's it for today, mga Lodicon grade 9 learners. We are done with the basic steps in festival dancing. The sun is about to set and it's time for us to pack out. Have you enjoyed our lesson for today? That's great. I hope that you had fun and had a great time this afternoon. I am looking forward to see your festival dance presentation. This has been your teacher broadcaster, Sir Ram Gawat, saying, dance out loud. Angat Tarlak, shine Tarlak. Thank you for listening and God bless.
Tuwing sasapit ang alas 5 ng hapon, parangalan natin ang ating mga kababayan na nasa unahan laban sa COVID-19. Lumabas tayo sa pintuan ng ating mga tahanan. Dumungaw tayo sa ating mga bintana. At atin silang bigyan ng masigabong palakpakan. Gumawa tayo ng ingay, ipagbunyi ang ating frontliners, at ipahayag ang ating walang hanggang suporta sa kanilang kabayanihan.
Gusto ko lang pong i-take itong opportunity ito para magpasalamat sa lahat ng mga doktor at nurses, especially yung mga nag-alaga po sa akin, sa buong Asian Hospital, at sa lahat po ng ating frontliners.
Umawit tayo at sumayaw at ipakita ang ating talento bilang pagsaludo sa mga bayaning nasa unahan. Talunin natin ang COVID-19. Sama-sama nating pagalingin ang ating inang bayan. Kaya natin to. We heal as one.
Alam niyo ba na ang salitang yoyo at ang makabagong bersyon nito ay naimbento ng isang Pilipinong nagngangalang Pedro Flores? Taong 1920s nang dinala ni Flores ang laruang ito sa Estados Unidos. Sinimulan niya ang paggawa nito sa kanyang maliit na pabrika sa California at ipinakita sa mga tao ang iba't ibang tricks ng paggamit nito. Alam mo na, yan ang yo-yo!
Masayang-masaya ako na nagkaroon ako ng chance, ng opportunity na makasama kayong lahat. Ma-share ko yung mga tips, makakaganda at makakapagpasaya sa buhay-buhay natin, di ba mga Mars? Kaya Mars, tandaan ninyo, dito, kayo ang bida!
Buhay mga bata, sa mga batang nasa ikalimang baitan. Hello!
Magandang araw din sa inyo, mahal naming magulang. Ito ang
Aral TarlakHenyo ng SDO Tarlac Province dito sa RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
At DZTC, Radio Pilipino, Tarlac.
Happy learning, grade 4. Welcome to
Aral TarlakHenyo here on RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
Simulcast over DZTC 828, Radio Pilipino Tarlac.
Alam niyo ba na ang Pilipinas ay mayroong 7,641 islands? Mula sa bilang na 7,107 islands, nadagdagan ito ng 534 na isla noong 2017. Tanging 2,000 lamang sa mga islang ito ang natitirhan. Alam niyo na! Yan ang mga isla sa Pilipinas.
Welcome sa Aral TarlakHenyo, DEPED Hour dito sa RTV Tarlac, Channel 26, sabay na napapakinggan sa DCTC Radyo Pilipino Tarlac. At mula sa Mungkado Tarlac, ako po si Roger P. Ramos, ang inyong CSDS broadcaster para sa isa na namang episode ng OSDS Hour. And this afternoon, I'm truly humbled to host this episode of the OSDS Hour because ang ating mga kapanayam this afternoon ay walang iba kundi ang ating iginagalang, pinagpipitaganan at minamahal nating Schools Division Superintendent, no other than Dr. Ronaldo A. Poson. Sir, good afternoon po, sir. It's an honor to have you in this episode of the OSDS Hour. Sir, would you like to greet our televiewers and our listeners po, sir?
Yes, good afternoon, Roger. Good afternoon, televiewers, and good afternoon to all who are tuned in this hour for our discussions.
Thank you, sir. And again, good afternoon po. And for the information of everyone, for the information of our televiewers and listeners, makakapanayam po natin si Sir Poson to talk about some of the pressing concerns in the Schools Division of Tarlac Province. And for the first question po, sir, is some of the schools have already started establishing their school-initiated community pantries inspired by Maginhawa Community Pantry, on which schools are tapping their stakeholders and benefactors to donate some goods, vegetables, and fruits to distribute to community people. And the frontliners of this activity are the teachers. Sir, what is your opinion about this activity, sir? Do you support this activity or do you have a dissenting opinion about this activity, sir?
This pantry being initiated by our school is a very good show of love from our teachers and the school themselves with their school principals to our community, and it shows that even in this midst of pandemic, they're really doing their best to serve our people, our barrio mates or our town mates or anyone who is in need. However, I would like to point out that in the midst of the nobility of your work, you have to remember that there are protocols that we are going to follow. First, you have to secure permission from the LGU, from the IATF of the municipality, and at the same time at the DOH, because whether you like it or not, people will be flocking into your place. I don't like you to be like what happened with Angel Locsin during her birthday, that instead of celebrating it, she put up her big pantry just to give to those people who are in need. And look what happened. Someone died because they really piled up their line there. They really waited for their turn, and it was a very long queue, very hot, and somebody died. And I don't like that to happen in us in our department. Of course, your intentions are very noble. They are appreciated. They are much loved. However, you have to observe some protocols because at the end of the day, knock on wood, if something happens, that people will have some accidents there, or maybe may catch COVID because there may be some who are carried there without them knowing it, you will be blamed. I'm telling you, people will always be pointing fingers at you because, we cannot please everybody. There will always be those people who are watching for our every move. Whether we do it good or not, they will always say something not good. So, congratulations, my dear teachers, for coming up with that noble activity. I salute you, but of course, you have to observe proper protocol. That's what I
Yes,
can
sir.
speak, Roger, on that matter.
Okay po, sir. Thank you so much po. So, from your statement, sir, you are supporting this activity, provided, sir, that the schools who are planning to conduct this activity must secure first permit from first LGU po, second is DOH, and also the in charge of the IATF, ano po, sir, to in order for us to be safe. Because na po, as I observe po sa mga pupunta sa mga community pantries, nagpo-plot po sila doon, they are waiting for their queue na mabigyan ng mga goods po. So, sir, based on your statement po, sir, that yung community pantry is a noble one because we are extending help to our community people who are the parents of our learners. Ano po, sir? So, sir, nabanggit niyo po kanina yung mga dapat na mga permit na dapat secure. I just want to ask, sir, if the school should also seek permission from your good office, po, sir, or they will just have to seek permission from the concerned agencies po?
Yes, it's these agencies who have the authority to give permission for them to conduct those because it will entail gathering of people. And I would like to remind everybody that if you will go to the pantry, do not send the old people there. Do not send the senior citizen. Do not bring children with you. Because in spaces where there is community pantry, I could see some parents tagging along with them their children. We should discourage that because children should not be allowed to be going out of their home or in your house at this point in time. Senior citizens should not also be asked to go there because, by their age, their resistance is no longer that strong. So we have to observe all those things. Again, I will repeat that. If somebody happens there, it's the school or it's the organizer that will be carrying the brunt of. And as I have been mentioning, sometimes people will make a mountain out of an anthill. So let's
Yes,
just be people as a reminder to everybody. I support the noble activity, but we have to be very, very careful.
Yes, sir. As I remembered nga po, sir, the one who died during the community pantry organized by Miss Angel Loxing was a senior citizen also, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if you are to be asked po, sir, what place do you prefer to hold the community pantry po? Should it be inside the school po or outside the school, sir? Because there
My
are some.
option is a place which is open. There is free flowing of air, wind. Then it should be covered. They should not be exposed in a heat of the sun, and chairs should be provided or light should be provided so that the social distancing should be maintained. And if the barangay have facility like that, the covered court or the basketball court, because most of the barangay halls here in Tarlac that I have seen, they have that kind of facility wherein people could be accommodated there without being exposed to extreme heat of the sun.
Okay, sir. Okay po, sir. Thank you so much. And then I would like to ask also, sir, do we allow teachers to go there in the if ever that the community pantry school initiated community pantry will be put in the covered court or in any open place po, do we encourage the teachers to go there or
Yes.
especially now, sir, kasi ang dami nating COVID cases po ngayon sa Tarlac po.
Sir Roger, coming up with the community, take note of the word, community pantry is an act of volunteerism. Those who want to go, they're doing it in the name of service, out of love for their barrio mates or their town mates or their neighbors or our parents who are in need. So I'll repeat that. Going to as a part of a service in the community pantry is an act of volunteerism. No one will be asking you to go there, but if you know that there is a pantry being organized by the school, it's up to you, my dear teachers, to volunteer or not. Because again, I'm telling you, this is an act of love. And you know, when we give our love, we do it unconditionally. We do it unconditionally.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for enlightening us, sir, about teachers who are attending this kind of activity for a noble good, sir. Sir, the next topic po na pag-usapan po natin, sir, is all about po sa hiring po or deployment because right now what we are doing is screening the pertinent papers of the teacher applicants, and then after that they will be will be conducting virtual demo teaching and interview po, sir, and then couple of months after magkakaroon na po tayo ng deployment for the next school year po, sir. So the last time po during the OSDS hour po, Doc Riley asked you some questions regarding hiring, and many of our teacher applicants and even school head po are asking if Localization Law or Republic Act 8190 will still be the basis of deployment of new teachers, just like what you have done, what the SDO Tarlac province have done during the hiring po last October 2020 in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, sir.
Yeah. It has always been my policy to bring the teacher years to their home. And that policy that I have ever since is supported by this localization law. And of course, by my experience, I noticed that there are plenty of teachers seeking transfer to the residents or nearest to their residents. So based on this prevailing conditions, situations, and scenarios, we will always bring them home or closer to their home. So if you are from Bungkada, you have to be in Bungkada. You have to apply in Bungkada or teach in Bungkada or closest to your home, which is Bungkada. In this case, please be reminded that the RQA, take note these are the roster of qualified applicants. Meaning, if you are in the RQA, you are qualified. I'll repeat that. This is a roster of qualified applicants. So if you are there in that list, you are qualified to be called in the teaching profession. You will be given notice to teach depending upon the availability of vacancy or items. In the case of high school, it is based on your major, and in the case of elementary, well, you are generalist, you are luckier because you have wider and bigger chances to be hired, unlike in high school, which is based on their major. So I'll repeat that. If we can bring you closer to your home, we will do it. However, you have to be very careful. You have to be very truthful. That's why I'm always have been mentioning during our orientation that character is something that is very important, because experience in my stay here in the RQA, they would put their address there, say for instance in Capas, they would say they are from Capas, so they would apply in Capas because there might be vacancy there, and they know that there are vacancies. So in the list, it happened in the past. I'm telling you, the address is in Capas. Suddenly, there will be a vacancy in this place, and this some applicants who proclaim or declared that they are from Capas are now claiming that they are from that place where the vacancy exists. And they would show everything that would prove that they are from that place where the vacancy exists. However, we stick on what is in the RQA. They declared that they are in Capas, so we will carry that on. Anyway, the information did not come to us. It came from them. They wrote it there. We just document it. So this is what I'm telling you. Please be very, very careful, my dear applicants, in all the information that you have placed in your application, especially in the residence, because I have seen that many times that they would come in my office late in the afternoon or early in the evening with all the documents showing that they are from this place because there is a vacancy. But in the RQA, they registered in another municipalities. But I cannot do anything on that because it is your declaration, not mine. We will just implement them. So that's it. Okay. Because of that, number one, because of the pandemic, making our people or our teachers or our staff is to their home, we will apply that. Localization law, okay. And the third one is people seeking from transfer year in and year out. So we are going to avert that today. So doon kayo sa lugar niyo, localization we will apply.
Yes, sir. So this is also perhaps ano po sir yung reason kung bakit we are also trying to get their voters ID or residence certificate po para malaman natin if they are really they really reside on the address that they have given in their personal data sheet. Sir, actually yung inyong call order sir kanina na bring the teacher home. Actually, we already done that last school year on which nung Kadamag District was able to accommodate five teachers from from other municipalities, other region, because we even accommodated two from Metro Manila po, sir. Sir, follow-up question ko lang po doon sa localization law, which will be the basis of deployment of new teachers po. Are we going to have the district ranking or still the municipal ranking po among the successful teacher applicants who made it to the division RQA po, sir?
Yeah, that's what we did. You already did that, Sir Roger, and it's the second year in my stay with you that it has been implemented. We will still do that because it is easier to trace people if we will do by that according to your district or according to your municipality. It will really be very easy for us to track, especially here in the division office. If there are vacancies in your area, immediately we will pull out the folder in your area and we can easily scan and look for it. So that's why it's that way. For purposes of easier facility on us to look for people when we needed them. Pandemic did not go with us. Time did not allow us because the one-stop shop that we did I have introduced with you should have been very successful because at the end of the day when the teachers has completed going from one room to another in that application center, immediately they would know their score.
Yes, sir.
Criteria. So they would go to the first room. Then when they go out of the first room, they know their score. Second room, second, third, fourth, last, and up to date. And they would easily know at the end of the day. And they have the copy with them, raw, and the genuine score. It cannot be altered because the applicants were the ones who are writing the figures there based on the evaluation done in every criteria in that one-stop shop. But time did not favor us. But in all my assignments, I have implemented that. That's why even when I was in Nueva Ecija, where we have thousands of applicants, in a daytime, we could finish them. In 1 week time, our RQA is ready because the raw score are already with the hands of the applicants. Immediately, they would know if they will be included in RQA or not. And remember, the applicants, you know the rule, if your score is 70 below, you will not be included in the list.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Actually, we received a positive feedback about the one-stop shop that we have done last school year, sir. That's a ranking process po. Sir, I would like to ask also because right now, sir, what we are doing right now is scanning or evaluating the pertinent papers of the teacher applicants po, sir. And some of the scenarios po that we often encounter po in screening the pertinent papers of our teacher applicants is they are used to attach endorsement letter from several luminaries or politicians. I would like to ask what is your stand on this matter too, sir?
That's okay, nothing to worry about. It just only shows that these applicants have a wide range of their linkages or networking, and meaning they know how to tap people. But again, in our criteria, we follow education, training, expertise, DIWA, and all those things. Training, there's no area. So that's just a welcome thing. Nothing to worry about. It's something that will come.
So okay po, sir. So we will not make comment on the said endorsement letter, sir. So we will just go on with the pertinent papers. Ano po, sir?
I would like to reiterate somehow, Sir Roger, because I encountered some applicants in the past that if they have this endorsement from luminaries, they would come to me and insist that they would have the item because of the recommendations. No, that is just backing up that you are of good standing, you are qualified, but the letter doesn't say anything that you will be given preferential attention in giving or getting the position. Because, you know, these luminaries, these are also public servants, they are philanthropists, they are NGOs or people who are also in service to our people in their private way or in public way, and they would also understand that we follow rules. And again, I would like to share with you some of my experiences when I was an assistant superintendent in Nueva Ecija in charge of hiring. I could not forget in year 2009, yeah, 2009, I was the assistant superintendent of Nueva Ecija. All the letters coming, being delivered to me by these applicants come from the office of the president. There was even particular, very particular person who has that endorsement from the ambassador of the Philippines to Rome. And that ambassador from Rome even called me up, asking a favor that this applicant who carries the letter should be given a job, teaching position, because she explained many things and they are acceptable. However, that applicant being backed by that ambassador of Philippines to Rome was number 55. So I just told the ambassador, ma'am, dahil she's a lady, she's number 55. Wherever she has a big division, we have this number of items. She will be given the item, but not the priority because number 1 to number 54 should go ahead first. And I promise you, when it's her turn to be called, I will call you up. And I did. And that applicant was absorbed maybe October or August, something like that. It's not in June, it's not even in July. Because of course, those who are number 1 to number 54 should go ahead first.
Okay, sir. So it's very nice to hear that experience, sir, so that we could also impart that experience to our teacher applicants. Sir,
The Philippines to Rome, that is in 2009.
Yes, sir. So, medyo mabigat po yung luminary na nilatitan po, sir. But we salute you, sir, for giving the right judgment on that circumstances and expect that we will also do the same in Tarlac province po with your guidance po, sir. Sir, what can you advise na lang po our teacher applicants on the matter that they are trying to get endorsement of some politicians or luminaries? And if you're going to give them advice, to what factor they should focus into to make them more qualified for the position that they're applying for, sir?
Okay lang, I will not advise them on that matter because going asking endorsement from anybody is a personal choice. And you know, if
Okay,
it's
sir.
something personal, it's none of my business because it's their personal choice. The only thing I can do is that when they are already here, I would just accept. Let's accept the document because that's part of our job. But just take note of the endorsement, part of their folder, part of their share, keep it up and put it in their form to 12. Sometime maybe these people, they can also help us through their networking. That's why I'm using the word very strong linkages and networking because we needed that in the Department of Education. Like now,
Yes, sir.
these schools are putting up their community pantries. These teachers who are volunteering their service to put up this pantry, community pantry, they're tapping up their networking, their linkages. And these are reservoir of our human resources that we can use to the advantage of the school and ultimately with our learners. The community pantry, I'm telling you, is something very acceptable because at the end of the day, it's our learners who will be consuming the food that they will get from. And sometimes I couldn't help myself but smile looking at these people. At least in that day or 2 or 3 days, their meal could be done by that pantry. In one school, I saw a lot of these vegetables, fresh vegetable, napakadami. And I could not help myself but smile and pray. Bless those people who share their blessings. And also those who serve, because service in a matter of volunteerism is something that we can offer beyond an obligation. That is the thing that I was telling during the time that Ma'am Selena discussed the orientation about this applicant, about character, about value system. These are the example of service beyond pandemic, going above yourself.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much po, sir. Sir, I have a lot of questions pa sana. However, we are running short on time po. But at the end po, sir, with the influx of the increasing number of COVID-19 positive cases in almost all municipalities of Tarlac province, sir, what message could you give to our teachers and to our fellow students po who are working in the field po?
Yeah. Just remember the song of Diana Rose, If We Hold On Together. I think from
Yes,
there,
sir.
that spells everything. If we hold on together, everything shall be done. Wala yung tayo tumitingin sa kamalian ng iba. We should be everybody's strength. Where somebody is weak, we should be their strength. So that
Yes,
our
sir.
ability of our purpose of all these things, it may not be perfect. It may not be the answer to all the anathema that we are having brought by this pandemic. But at least we're doing something than nothing at all.
Yes, sir. And we are very grateful po, sir, because you are our source of inspiration. In the superintendency po, yourself, kayo po, si Ma'am Selena, si Sir Arman, Sir Paul, and Sir Noel, you are our source of inspiration and motivation because you keep guiding us, because you keep thinking of how we can do our work na hindi compromise yung aming health and safety. So, from the bottom of my heart, sir, thank you so much po, sir. So, thank you for your time, sir. Thank you for once again sharing your wisdom to all of us, the people in the field po. So muli po, nagpapasalamat tayo kay Sir Ronald for your time that you have shared to us this afternoon po, sir. At thank you po dahil naliwanagan kami sa ibang mga concerns na napaka-importante na dapat din namin malaman upang sa ganun kami po ay magabayan at kami rin po ay makapagbigay gabay sa aming mga nasasakupan, sa mga kasama nating school heads and mga teachers po. Ganon din po yung ating mga magulang. So again, sir, my salute and my gratitude po for your time po. Again, mula sa Mungkada Tarlac, ako pang inyong lingkod, Roger P. Ramos, na nagsasabi sa SDO Tarlac, you are always the number one. Hashtag Angat Tarlac, Raise Tarlac, and Shine Tarlac. Hanggang sa susunod na episode ng ating OFDS Hour, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Mabuhay mga bata! Sa mga batang nasa ikalimang baitan, hello!
Magandang araw din sa inyo, mahal naming magulang. Ito ang
Aral TarlakHenyo ng SDO Tarlac Province dito sa RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
At DZTC, Radio Pilipino, Tarlac.
Happy learning, grade 4. Welcome to
Aral TarlakHenyo here on RTV Tarlac, Channel 26.
Simulcast over DZTC 828, Radio Filipino Tarlac.